All right, here we go. Shout out to everybody that's watching. All right, here I go. Somebody's got to do it. So, to all the younger, especially males, that are watching this, um, I'm going to break it down. Okay. First, let's rep everybody's city. We got San Jose in the building. Of course, I'm representing Chicago. We got Cleveland in the building. We got New Jersey in the building. Cleveland is standing strong in the building. Shout out to all my peeps in Ohio. Right? We got Fresno in the building. Make sure you rep your city. Let's show the city some love. We got Pittsburgh in the building. I see you, cutie pie. Okay. So I was on the phone. That's why I'm a little late. And some of the OGs, and they're like 2 years younger than me, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years younger than me. I'm 68, so some of the OGs. Yeah, this is what sparked it. Some of the OGs, they had me on the speakerphone. They was chilling, and they watched me from time to time, and they said, Pharaoh, you bogus for not getting on there and speaking about this situation. So they said I was bogus. So I said, well, I didn't understand what they was talking about. So I said, y'all know I don't speak on no court cases. They was like, right, we ain't not talking about the court cases. We said, why you ain't on there straightening out the street code stuff that these MGs is pushing. And so what's MGs? They're like them like middle G's. They're calling themselves OGs, but they're only 40 and 50. And it was like they not OGs. He said, get that straight. It's like, get that straight too. You're not no OG. If you ain't 60 and up, you're not no OG. You're not no OG at no 50 years old. You're not no OG. Facts. To us, you're a baby down there. You know, you're 50 years old. That's almost 20 years ago for me. I don't know how me and you is OGs. And I'm finna be 70. Larry Hoover in his late 70s. So I don't know how you were OG with Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford and the age Minister Rico and all them would be. You, I guess. So now they going in on my case because they like, you the only nigga out there represent what's up like that. They were saying, they said, so you bogus. They said I'm bogus because they said, man, it was like, you the only one worked that internet like that. Nobody your age worked that internet like that. So why you ain't really going on there and setting it straight? So I was like, okay, I see what you're saying. I said, but listen, man, I wasn't going to speak on it because, you know, once brothers get in trouble, I don't speak on their name. And it was like, we honor that. We honor that. But we don't honor what they saying on there. And ain't no OGs straightening it out. Because they like that, because they telling me like, Gucci ain't break no damn street codes. So I said, I know, okay, I'll talk about it. So I agreed to talk about it. So that's basically what they want me to get straight. And they right. Gucci ain't broke no street codes. None. None. He can go in court and he can point them out. Facts. He can go in court and he can point them out and he can tell the whole thing. And that is not breaking no street codes because they went into a legal business. And once you go into a legal, street code do not apply with legal. Period. None. They don't apply. Let's say I got a business and I'm in my business and I'm running a legal business, but I'm selling substances out my legal business. And you come rob me for my substances in my legal business. That street codes apply because I'm doing illegal business in my legal business. So I cannot call the police and tell them that you stole something from me that was illegal just because you stole it out my legal business. But if you come in my legal business and you steal the substances and you steal legal equipment out my legal business, I could call the police. I'm not going to report the illegal stuff, but if you took my computers, took my business papers, took anything that was purchased with business money, you going in jail. I'm calling the police. So we're going to get into that. Yeah, I'm calling the police. So then you say, I'm a gangster. I'm not supposed to call the police. And like they said, if I'm a gangster and I call the police, what you going to do about it? If I'm Gucci and I make that record about Pooh Shiesty and all that, what him and his daddy going to do? They ain't going to do nothing. They're going to eat that. Because I'm a gangster. Like West Side Connections, I keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. So that's the other side of it. If I do, and we gangsters, what you gonna do about it? Yeah, I made the song. I said all that. And what? What you gonna do about it? So we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna break it all down. The song is legitimate because they violated him in the legal business. So he's not snitching on no street stuff. He's making a song about what you did in his legal business. That's not that he's not. How's he snitching? He's only snitching with street stuff, and that wasn't street stuff. That was a legal studio. You went in there and you did all this stuff, and I ain't gonna get in that part because I'm gonna stay out the case. But I'm just gonna keep it on that. I'm not gonna get into the details, but I could. There were people that were involved allegedly. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as you come in my business and I got legal people in my business and you involve these legal people in my business, what are we doing? Here go the thing about that. I don't want to get into that. But Beefy, but would he do that to a white CEO of a record label? White CEOs, white record labels have been robbing black artists forever. would they do that? They only did it because he's black. That's why they did it. They did that because he's black. On top of that, if I sign you to a record deal, we'll talk about the business. If I sign you to a record deal and you drop a record and you go out here and get sloppy and get arrested, you cannot get out of prison for doing something that hurt the record label, because Pooh went to prison doing some dumb stuff. Really, your contract could be null and void because Pooh have not been available to complete his contractual agreement. Okay, if I sign you to a record label contract, let's say I sign you for 7 years. If you go to jail for 2 years, you can't give me my 7. Your contract, you've already violated your contractual agreement. So I ain't going to talk about this case, but as far as Pooh Shiesty's contractual agreement, he broke it already. And I'll tell him and his daddy, your son was in prison. That contract, you've already violated your contractual agreement. So how you want to sign out of a contract that really you're supposed to be dumped from the label and you ain't supposed to get nothing? Pooh Shiesty not supposed to get nothing because he violated his contractual agreement. You want me to show you some record label contracts? I got a file cabinet full of them. In your contract, I sign you. In that contract, there's promotion. You make an agreement to release this music and do so much promotion. If you go to prison, you can't do no promotion. Your contract is null and void. Period. Gucci don't owe him nothing. Ain't got to give him another dime and owns all the music. Don't got to give him a dime because you was locked up and you was supposed to be working. Now, go to your job. You get a job and go to jail and go to prison and can't come to work. I bet you won't have no job when you get out. Yeah. So Pooh Shiesty ain't the brightest bulb in the lamp. Because, bro, your contract that you want to get signed out of, your contract, you've already violated your contract, bro. You was in jail for doing some other stupid shit. When you did that other stupid shit, you wasn't thinking about your record label. So now, oh, it's all about your contract now after you get out of jail for doing some dumb stuff. And then and then we ain't gonna talk about the gangster, because on the streets, if you're a stupid gangster, you know you'll lose, right? I'm talking to the young brothers. If you think that you cannot go to school, that you cannot have no intelligence, that you can't read well, that you can't think, that you can't observe well, and you can get out to here and be a gangster, and you run into a gangster that can read and can think well and do have good comprehension skill, you're going to get wiped clean. So Pooh Shiesty can't make it out here anyway. Him or his daddy. They go against some real gangsters. Facts. Because you got intelligent, educated gangsters. And then you got people that's gangsters because they dumb. They can't get no good job. So now they want to be a gangster. Now they want to be a street hustler. They not hustlers like I was. I was a hustler because I was real smart. Some of them is hustlers because they real dumb. I was a hustler because I could add. Oh, so if I buy this for this and I get a this, bad. You know what I'm saying? Pooh ain't shit, bro. Okay? Use a fan. Use a fan. He don't mean nothing to me. I'm from Chicago. He not nothing to me. His name's Shiesty. You hang with Shiesty people? The man named Shiesty. Where I come from, Shiesty means you can't be trusted. Right? Now you out your league anyway, okay? You out your league, okay? Stay in your league. You should be talking about the mamas and the papas, or, you know, you should be talking about Led Zeppelin or something. You're talking to the wrong one. You know what I'm saying? You can't even walk around certain places. In all due respect, you can't even come around no gangster shit. So stay in your place, Tom, okay? Stay in your place. Okay? You're out of line. All that privilege, it don't work over here. You ain't nobody over here, okay? You can't tell me nothing about no young black man, okay? Period. You some privileged white guy that wants to be an expert on black culture. Because, you know what I'm saying? Don't make me go there. Shut your ass up over here. I'm just saying. Because if you was over here with me and the guys, you wouldn't say 2 words. You wouldn't open your mouth. You'd be scared, okay? You'd be shaking in your boots. How you going to say somebody's legit that keep going in and out of prison and keep messing up their career? And you talking about he legit. Ain't it through his whole career way? How the hell he legit? And he can rap like that. And he going around doing stupid stuff and all on film and finna go to prison for how long? And you talking about he legit? Shut up talking to me. Talking about he was born in South Memphis, so that make him legit? You mean the South Memphis where they got all of that addiction problems and they have to lock up all the pharmaceuticals in the Walgreens? You know, you're talking to this big Pharaoh. I'm in Chicago. Memphis ain't got no hotels or nothing to go stay. Memphis is one of the worst cities in America. It's not Al Capone. He not from Al Capone. He not from Al Capone. They GDs and shit. They GDs and Crips and Bloods. They follow other cities. No disrespect to Memphis, but if you Memphis and you a GD, you a vice lord, you think Chicago gonna honor you when you all on our nizzle whizzles? I'm just saying, you following us. I'm just saying. No disrespect, but I'm just saying this big Pharaoh, you know? That's all I'm saying. If I come to Memphis and you're a 4-corner hustler, you don't got no rank over me. Right off the top, I'm chief, like. That's just right off the top. That's a whole nother story for another day. But for you to say Pooh Shiesty is legit, legit must mean, legit definitely don't mean intelligent. I can tell you that. If he's legit, I don't know what legit means, do I? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so let's get to what I'm talking about. So, street codes. Now, for the young brothers, because y'all need to learn, if you go do a crime in a legal business, you are not under the street code laws. Period. For example, let's say I got a record label. Let's say I make a lot of money with my artists. Let's say I take my money out the bank that's legal money from my record label, and I go buy $2 million worth of jewelry. I put an insurance claim on the $2 million worth of jewelry that was bought with my legal money, right, from my record label. And let's say you own some street stuff and you come rob me for my $2 million of jewelry that was bought with legal money from my legal business that has an insurance policy on it. I have to call the police and make a police report, and I have to send that police report to my insurance company to get my money for my jewelry to be replaced. That will not fall under street codes where I don't have to keep my mouth shut because you stole legal money and you stole legal jewelry that is insured by an insurance company that I have to make a claim to get I paid to cover my insurance, my jewelry. That's not the streets, bruh. The streets is my weed spot. But if you come into a legal recording studio and you do something in front of people that work legally in a legal recording studio, and you come to meet me based off of the idea that we want to talk about legally releasing you from your contract, and you do something, I'm calling the police. Because this is not the streets. Now, if I'm in my legal recording studio and I'm selling illegal substances, and you come to my legal business and you rob me of my illegal substances, I'm not going to call the police. That's the street code. Because I'm doing illegal business in a legal business, and the street code does not cover legal businesses, but it covers everything I'm doing illegal. So if I'm doing something under the table, if he would have went in there and robbed him from some work, can't call the police. Because my legal business isn't 100% legal because I'm in here doing street shit. So it's under the street code as long as you only take things that have something to do with the streets. And if you do anything that doesn't have to do with the streets, I can report that half of the crime. I still can't report the other half of the crime. But if you take the bunch of green from me, a bunch of illegal substance, and you take my legal jewelry, I'm calling the police because you took the legal stuff and it's insured. You got to understand something. They have no education. They read at the 4th grade level. So I got mercy for street dudes because they're not the brightest bulbs in the lamp. And when we go to the county jail with street dudes, or we end up with prison with street dudes, people like me, we the ones who got to read all their paperwork. We the ones got to help them with their cases. They can't read, You know, a lot of these rappers, they write that stuff just like they rap it. They can't spell. They can't spell. They can't do nothing legal, legitimate, because they're illiterate. That's a fact. Don't you know if that boy was literate, he wouldn't have did that? Don't you know if that boy was literate, he'd know he can't run up in no legal studio? Don't you know if that boy has some sense, he know that Gucci Man ain't got to say nothing. The studio people could prosecute you. Duh. Gucci ain't got to say nothing. Bro, you ran in a legal studio. You going bye-bye. You're going bye-bye. You violated a lot of legal people. Duh. Ruh. That was a legal place of business, man. Duh. I got a lot of love for Pooh because that's what I deal with. That's what brothers like me deal with. We like street fathers. Chicago's full of them. There's tens of thousands of Pooh Shiesties in Chicago. That's a fact. Tens of thousands. If I get in trouble, go to county jail, everybody in there is a Pooh Shiesty. Except somebody that got arrested going to work or got a battery, hit his wife. He might got a good job. It's only a few. I was in the county jail 4 months, and those were my patients, and I helped. That's what I did, help those brothers. I would have been the one to help Pooh Shiesty. So I'm not holding nothing against Pooh Shiesty. He's not equipped with what's necessary. You know what I'm saying? His father's a jailbird. So where you going to get it from? You know, I had a female ask me the other day, say, why he do that? She wanted to know why he do that. And I had to break it down to her. I said, listen, it's real simple. She said, no, how is it simple? I said, it's real simple. I said, what's his name? She said, hell no. I said, don't say it. She said, his name, Pooh Shiesty. I said, come on. The nigga named Pooh Shiesty. Okay? Do you know what shiesty mean? She like, I'm done with you. I don't want to talk to you no more. You was too much, she said. She said, I don't want to talk to you no more. The boy named Pooh Shiesty. He wasn't playing. y'all think bro's playing? Y'all think he was playing when he called himself Pooh Shiesty? They named a whole robbery mask after dude. What did he just get out for? What did he just get out for? What did he do for when he just went to jail? What did he just get out of jail for? Y'all ain't see that video footage? So I got love for dude because he's a victim of society. He's a victim. You know, no education, no, you know what I'm saying? But as far as people talking about Gucci Man, Talk about Gucci Man supposed to keep the street code. No, there's no street code involved with this. You went into a legal studio. You canceled all street code laws. He gets no street code laws. And all of the black men you see on social media that say Gucci snitching, they all dumb too. They all read at the 4th grade level. So you got a bunch of black men that read at the 4th grade level that's just as dumb as Pooh Shiesty, and I say that with respect based on the education system, speaking on it. What he took, if he took his jury, and that jury is insured, Gucci Man got to report that. You can only take jury that is bought through illegal means. If you take legal jury that is insured, the person you took it for must file a report for their jury. If you break into my house and you take illegal firearms out my house, I have to report the crime because those firearms are registered to me. And that's not a street crime. So you do not go under street laws and street codes unless you do street stuff. If you do anything that fits under legal business, you are not under the street codes. And any gangsters, real gangsters outside will tell you that. The street code does not apply to legal business. The street code is the street code, right? So it applied to what? Street stuff. The street code don't apply to running in off business offices. Once you run in a business office, that's not the streets. It's got to be streets. If you go slap my daughter, that's not under street codes. My daughter's a civilian. I can call the police. Period. That's not the street code. Now, if you pistol with me because I'm out here slanging and doing street stuff, that's street codes. But if you touch civilians, that don't go under street code. They got civilians thinking that they can't call the police. If you're a civilian, you can call the police. They got you thinking that some street dude can violate you and you ain't no street person and you got to go by street codes, but you ain't from the street. And I had this white dude come over here and tell me Pooh Shiesty legit, and if Pooh Shiesty do that to him, he gonna call the police in 2 seconds. And he come over here talking. And y'all know he'll call the police. Hold on, let me show his picture again. This dude come over here talking. Let me ask y'all a question. Would he call the police? Would he, if Pooh Shiesty and them did something to him, would he call the police? Hell yeah, he'll call the police. Quick. He would call the police. Fast. Can you believe this? It's an off-duty officer there. Bruh, he going to court. Listen, the off-duty officer gotta file a report. Listen, off-duty officers have like a clause if they work off-duty. In other words, an off-duty officer is still under the same rules. He never is not a police officer. He's a sworn deputy, whether he's at work or not. And so off-duty officers, when they take side jobs, they still have to turn in a report. They have to turn in a report. And if an off-duty officer under that situation and don't turn on a report and it comes out and the job find out and call him in and say, was you there? And like, I was there. You didn't file no report? He's in a lot of trouble. Let me ask y'all a question. If an off-duty officer there and didn't say nothing, and it comes out, and the job and the police department or the sheriff department find out he was there, what happened? What happened? So they talk about Gucci on the record snitching. Bruh, you ran in on off-duty officer. This shit is public record now. That's not snitching. Gucci's not snitching on that zone. That's not snitching. Because that's not street. That's not street. Dude ran in a business. Pooh Shiesty gets no protection under the streets. Let's say we in the prison. Gucci in there and Pooh is in there. Guess who we whooping? We'll whoop Pooh. We'll whoop him. We'll whoop Pooh. We'll whoop him. I'm just telling you. On everything. We'll whoop Pooh. Gucci Mane's a businessman. You see how many people, YG, talking about a 50-year-old Gucci man like the 20-year-old Gucci man? These people ain't got no knowledge. There's nowhere in the streets where we judging this Gucci man by the little young Gucci man. That's ridiculous. That's like you a 5-star, some type of 5-star Blackstone and Vice Lord, and we judging you based on when you was 19. We don't do that. You get judged by whatever age you is. Gucci man, this Gucci man is this Gucci man. You see they pulling up pictures about the little baby Gucci man? Nobody do that in the streets, no. Gucci man in the streets is a legal businessman now. That's how he's honored in the streets, in the real streets. Because in the real streets, there's gang members that own J&J Fish now. There's gang members that own trucking companies now. There's gang members that's not doing what they was doing then. They're not under them that same menace they was under. They done went legal. You can't take no vice lord or no old GD that done bought a business and got married and got 2 children and their children in private schools and shit. You can't hold dude to no old ass, no GD stuff when he was the other GD. Who do that? In the streets, you off count. Listen, in the streets, you off count. They're like, he off count, bro. He ain't on that no more. Dude ain't on that. Dude, a businessman with a family, he off count. We'll protect him because he always GD, but he don't got to get involved with nothing. We're going to always protect you as GD. We're going to always honor you as a Blackstone. But you don't got to get involved with none of this. We respect. Dude legal now. Dude can hire some of the shorties that want to get out the streets. We're not like, man, you still need to be on some street stuff. You still need to be going to jail like when you were 19. You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. Come on, man. Come on, man. You run into a legal business. You don't get no street respect. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing for you. Okay, let's say I'm a four-corner hustler. And let's say Pooh Shiesty ran into my mama's business because that's my mama. Right? So that's my mama that's got legal business. But just because she my mama and he pissed at me, is the gang gonna honor him running up in my mama's business? Gucci Mane's still a gangster. He just legal. Pooh Shiesty still gonna get clapped. YG. Listen, y'all think Pooh Shiesty safe for that? Let me ask you something, YG. Let me ask you something, YG. Let's say Gucci, when he was running the streets, he was running the streets with me. But he out the streets now. But let's say he's running the streets with me. And he did that shit to my mans. You know what I'm saying? Let's say Gucci ran with me when we was in the streets. I'm still in the streets, but my man Gucci went legal. So we all talking about, yeah, Gucci went legal, man. He getting it. Then I find out some rapper, he wanna take it to the streets. But me and my guys, we still in the streets. Nigga, I ain't Gucci. That's my man's though. But you got us fucked up. We gonna catch Pooh Shiesty, his daddy, they all period. Because dudes got associates and shit. Now you get out the streets, but the streets don't never get out you. And niggas that ride with you, they ride to the end. And they be proud of you. So there's black men out here that love Gucci getting married, cleaning himself up, losing weight, working out, becoming a boss like that, and getting out the streets. There's dudes in prison thinking, I'm going to change my life around. Maybe Gucci will hire me. Maybe I get a job. Pooh Shiesty then went and ran up in a legal business. In the streets, he out of order. He getting a pumpkin head. And you took all the little dumb shorties with you. No, they ain't. Look who he took with him. Man, he ain't dealing with Memphis. He dealing with Pooh Shiesty signing rappers. Let me ask you a question. Without the crimes, was Pooh Shiesty a good artist to sign as far as a rapper? Just as far as a rapper. Did Gucci win when he signed him or lost? Was that a good signing or a bad signing? As far as in the rap business. Is Pooh Shiesty not fire? On top of that, they leaving one thing out. They guess what they leaving out? Guess what? Because Memphis is hot. Memphis got a lot of good ass rappers. You ain't went and signed them. Memphis is hot. And when cities get hot, you go sign them. So once everybody's seen Dolph, then they see everybody else. So once the city's seen Chief Keef, and you see Chief Keef, then you end up seeing G Herbo, this one, that one, that one. Oh, it's a bunch of them. Once you see Snoop Dogg, then that's when you see Warren G and all of them. That's just how the music game go. That rapper that make it, he put a spotlight on the city, and then you see, damn, it's a bunch of them. It's like a roach when a roach run under the refrigerator, and you move the refrigerator, and there's 9 behind there. Like, I ain't trying to compare to roaches, but that's a good analogy. That was a good sign then. Pooh Shiesty is fire. Fire, fire, fire. Fire. But he ain't got nothing, but he dumb. He's uneducated. He doesn't have the tools. Who goes and do that with an ankle monitor on? So he ain't the brightest bulb in the lamp. Who does that? Who gets out of prison and go do that? He would have called me. I would have said, hey, first off, when you go talk to Gucci and you mad about your contract, everything with Gucci, first thing is this for young brothers watching business. This is what Pooh Shiesty made a mistake. Pooh Shiesty didn't understand that when he took a meeting with Gucci from a business point of side, Gucci wouldn't look at him like the same Pooh Shiesty he signed. So Gucci would have been all ears. Pooh Shiesty would have been straight. Because Pooh Shiesty don't know business, and he thinking that Gucci gonna deal with him the same way he dealt with him when he signed it. But now you didn't show and prove now. Now you big Pooh Shiesty. Gucci would have did you right, bro. You tripping. Gucci would have did him right. This is a different Pooh Shiesty. Bro, you just got hot. Go negotiate. Bro, you just got hot. Listen, if he wasn't going to do you right, he never would have took the meeting. Why do we think Gucci took the meeting and came all the way there? With no security. He was finna pay that boy. Man, Gucci was finna pay that man. Gucci was finna pay that man. Gucci was going to go to that man and say, listen, don't mess up on this house arrest. This is what we going to do. I'm going to give you this much money now. When you get off that ankle monitor, I'm gonna sign you to more. He would have made a deal based on Pooh Shiesty staying out of trouble. He not finna pay you more money the way you went to prison, bro. You gonna have to show and prove you can stay your monkey ass out of jail, which you proved you can't. Pooh Shiesty, for the bag he wanted, I'm in the music business. We lose a lot of money from rappers going to jail. Facts. I lost a lot of money with rappers going to jail. We get tired of going up and picking up rappers at the jailhouse. We get tired of giving a baby mama money to put on his books. And we losing money because you got a hot ass song, but now you can't do no promo, you can't do no shows. The song going colder and colder and colder. All my money gone. Because I done signed you to a contract and you still out in the streets doing stupid shit. Pooh Shiesty, what? He don't deserve no contract. So the man signed you to a contract and you go do that dumb shit you did to go to jail. Everybody trying like Pooh Shiesty this. Pooh Shiesty is an idiot. He don't deserve business. On the business side, I don't respect him. You come out first day out, boom, song going through the roof, right? You go do that. Here you go again. He ain't worth 5 cents. He not worth a nickel because he can't stay out of jail. He's a dumbass. Pooh Shiesty's a dumbass. If they give him 50,000 years, what difference it make? He ain't worth shit anyway. That boy's stupid as hell. That boy's stupid. And for the young people watching me, you cannot be no stupid gangster. All the stupid gangsters. His father's a stupid ass nigga too. Dumbass nigga. They stupid. His dumbass father can't go to war with me. How you gonna go to war with me and you dumb? That's his daddy. His daddy wouldn't last 2 seconds for one with me. He too stupid. Like father, like son. Dumb as hell. Dumb. You let your son go down there and take all them weapons and all that shit your dumb ass went to? They said, well, how you going to say ain't a good daddy? Let's say it's me. My son comes and say, Daddy, I'm going to see Gucci. I say, all right, when we leave? We leave it Thursday. I'm taking Rainbow, Scooty Scoot, Goop Boop, Badoo, right? A good daddy say, what you taking them bum ass niggas for? Leave them niggas at home. We're going to do business. So soon as he let his son take a whole bunch of trifling ass niggas with him somewhere, the daddy dumb as hell. Let me ask any man over here. Would you let your son take them characters with him for a big $1 million deal? Pooh need more business training. No, Pooh need about 7 to 10 years in the penitentiary. That's what he needs. He need to be locked up. Yeah, he need about 10 years, 15 years in the penitentiary. That'll help him. I'm talking from the streets, and we outside. Y'all think the streets, what y'all think the streets is? Let me give you a conversation on the streets. Hey, man, you heard about Pooh Shiesty? Yeah, you heard about he did that to an off-duty police officer? His goof ass. He went in there and grabbed a white boy. White boy. His goof ass just out the streets. Right? He went in there and do off-duty police officer. His goof ass went out there with the straps and stuff with goof ass. You know what I'm saying? His goof ass. Come on, bro. You went in there and did that with with an off-duty police officer or whatever. Your goof ass. Come on. They'd be like his daddy went to Kinko's to copy a contract. They'd be like, with his broke ass. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Bro, and send niggas home on the Greyhound bus. They on there with the stolen watches. I ain't trying to talk about the case, but I ain't got no choice. I can't hold it in no more. Them fools took pictures with the watches. Bro, oh shit. Boy, them fools, them shorties took pictures with the stolen watches on the Greyhound bus. On the Greyhound bus. Going back with the stolen watches on. Oh my God. Because you gotta understand. The daddy this dumb. So I mean Pooh Shiesty this dumb. Which means the shorties is how dumb the shorties. So this is dumber, is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't lying. Here go the daddy. The daddy's stupid. The son is just stupid. And the son bring these niggas with him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you can't make this shit up. Bro, you just sold $1 million. Your record. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bro, you sold your record hot. You straight out with an anchor monitor. A real gangster not going outside with the ankle monitor. A real gangster is telling Gucci Man, come to me, bro. I'm on house arrest. Come to me. This nigga went and violated house arrest and went and did all that stupid shit with that ankle. Boy, you going to jail forever. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, this ain't funny, but it's funny. When he go to court, the judge gonna be looking at him like this. The judge gonna look at the case and say, y'all ever been in court and watched court? The judge gonna make this. So what I see here, you got out on the 3rd. And you went and did all this like 5 weeks later? Now, let me get this correct. You was on ankle monitor? And you went with a Mr. Byron Simpson. Oh, he's been in here a lot. You went in there with little Raymond Johnson, aka little Ramo. This who you and your father, Mr. Willie Simpson, that did a lot of time. He went to the Kinko's to copy a professional record label contract at the Kinko's while you was meeting with a Mr. Gucci Man who's filthy rich and doing very well. And you were at so-and-so studio owned by this legitimate guy and this legitimate guy. And there was an officer so-and-so there. You knew he was an officer? Let me see. How much time do we give a dummy? Oh. According to the dummy chart, you get 849 years. Lock him up and throw the key away. You are officially dumb. Okay? You are officially stupid. Sit down. You need to sit down. Maybe if you get out in 20 years, maybe by then you're being grown up. And then, let's keep it real with Big Pharaoh. All right, you Pooh Shiesty. You hot. You finna make millions and millions of dollars. I'm in prison. They bring you in on the new. Do y'all know how a lot of prisoners looking at you? When you had that type of opportunity and you back in there with them, they looking at you like this. They think, I ain't had no opportunity. That's how I was struggling. Nigga, you was rich. And you went and did that shit? You back in here with us? Really? So you think shit's sweet, huh? You think shit's sweet. You better keep some money on these books. Now, we're going to poke your ass up. They ain't going to have no respect for you when you had an opportunity and you blew it. Ain't nobody going to respect you, bro. They looking at you like Willie Boo Boo. You know what I'm saying? You're looking crazy. Even if you beat the case and don't get no whole lot of time, nobody gonna want to touch you. What record label gonna want to sign you? They're like, nah, he's who gonna want to be around you? Gucci Man was basically your boss, and look what you did. You went and tried to humiliate him and ruin his reputation. And Gucci Man taking all this when everybody that really is a gangster know what's up. No, Gucci wife running all that. Gucci wife is the brains behind running all that stuff. She the mastermind. She the one sit down with her husband and decide what to do. And let me tell you something about Gucci wife. She not to be played with. Pooh Shiesty has no idea what he done did. Because that wife, as far as she concerned, you did that to her husband, and she got family members, and she got associates, and she got friends, and she got family. And they at you. If he go to prison, he need to go to PC, and he need to keep his head on the swivel. That's what I would say. If he go to prison, he need to go to PC, and he need to keep his head on the swivel. Because it's definitely going to be a hit out for him. Because one thing about Gucci Man, he going to take care of the business and the streets. Dude must have forgot. He must have forgot about Gucci Man. Gucci Man going to do the business part. He going to take care of the insurance. He going to get his money. But this ain't over. This ain't over. So imagine he get locked up. And I go on a visit. And somebody tell me that Gucci Man's wife found I was in there. And there's a bag on the table of certain things get taken care of. Now there's a bag on the table. There's a lawyer available. If I can handle a certain situation, I can get out a little early. And there's some money going to go to my kids and all of this here. And you're the big, tough Mr. Pooh Shiesty, huh? Oh. Well, when I get back on the deck, I'm going to be your best friend. I'm going to get real close. My man! Ah! I'm going to rock my baby. I'm going to get you to relax. You're fucked. I don't know what you thought. You must have thought you was the only gangster in town. I mean, and get Gucci to sign. Get Gucci to sign for what? Why would you get Gucci? Why, when you come out, you drop First Day Out? It's the biggest song ever. You haven't talked to this man. Why would you make any business decision when you hotter than fish grease? Why would you have any idea? Why would you want him to sign anything before you talk to him? Why would you be excited or want anything and you're still on the ankle monitor? Why wouldn't you be patient until you at least get off the ankle monitor? Make some kind of business sense. I'm hot as hell. I'm bigger than I was. I call Gucci Man. Now, y'all know business. Answer me something. From the time he called Gucci Man and Gucci Man agreed to meet him, what that mean? Let's just start there. G-Rod, you're a businessman. from the time he got out and his record was hot, and he called Gucci Man, and Gucci Man came all the way out of town to meet with him. What do that mean? With no security or nothing. What that mean? What that mean if Gucci Man fly all the way to another city to meet you with no security? What do that mean? What do that tell you what type of mind state Gucci Man is in concerning Pooh Shiesty? He didn't even wait to see if the man was bringing them a bag. He didn't even wait to see if there was a briefcase full of money in the car. On my soul. Listen, Pooh Shiesty didn't even wait to see if Gucci had bought him $2 or $3 million cash. He didn't even wait. It might have been $1, $2, or $3 million in the trunk of the car. It might have been some brand new jewelry in the trunk of the car. He'll never know. Any real gangster wouldn't have made no decision until they got back home. They wouldn't have made no decision. This fool didn't even wait to see. He went in there trying to press Gucci and change the whole mode of everything. He should have went in there and been glad to see Gucci, and he should have been appreciate. I'm glad, man. Much love you came to see me, bro. That mean a lot. I'm going through a lot right now. But the fact you took this meeting to see me, I got a lot of respect for you for that. I know you see the record blowing up. What we finna do? Like that. I won't bring all these goons with me because all these goons gonna mess up the business deal. See what I'm saying? So I'm Gucci, I come to see you, got all these niggas with you. You're throwing the whole thing off. And I'm by myself. Pooh Shiesty is an idiot. Whatever the business deal was gonna do, you got all these wolves with you. The man thinking off the top, what the fuck is this? See what I'm saying? If I know you was going to bring all these, I would have bought some goons with me. What you bring all these goons with you for? A bunch of uneducated dummies with you. You know they dummies that took pictures with the watches on. Pooh Shiesty's an idiot. I don't care nothing about dude. Dude's an idiot. Period. He's going to get 1,000 years. And that record Gucci made, that ain't no snitch record. Most of these bitch-ass niggas out here talking about snitch this and snitch that. Y'all ain't even built like that. Every last one of y'all, you don't know what the hell you talking about. Trying to, with social media, everybody's a gangster on social media. Everybody know the street codes on social media, but meet them in real life. Dude, shut up. You work for UPS. Stop trying to get on there talking about some street code this, street code that on the internet front. You don't even know what street code is. Ain't nothing about that song. There's no street code. If you ask me, say, so what is the Gucci song? It's genius. Motherfucker finna sell 3 million copies of that shit. You know how much money Gucci gonna make off that song? Gucci smarter than a motherfucker. You say whatever you want to say. He finna clock a big ass bag off that song. You sit at home, you done made $4 million off a song. They come out you a snitch. You like 1 million, 2 million. Yeah, whatever. Why would he listen to somebody when everybody knowing music, the more controversial the song, the better? and how you snitching on somebody that did the shit all on camera and did something in front of everybody. Snitching is when you tell something don't nobody know. Pooh Shiesty, how you snitching? How am I snitching on a nigga that bought some motherfuckers with him that's taking pictures with the watches on it? Can you snitch on them? They self-snitching already. Pooh Shiesty snitched on himself. What do you mean self-snitching? This fool went out of town with an ankle bracelet on. The goddamn parole people called him and said, get your ass back home. What do you mean snitching? Snitching is when you tell something nobody know. Pooh Shiesty went out there. I'm going out of town with an ankle monitor on. Look, I got 1,000 niggas with me. How you can snitch? How you snitching? Come on. How you snitching on somebody that's self-snitching, that they went and did this shit in front of off-duty police officers? Make it make some sense. How you snitching on a fool that went with an off-duty police officer and took a bunch of niggas with him that's gonna roll over? Y'all think Big 30 and them is gonna go to prison over him? Man, listen, they all finna tell on Pooh Shiesty. That's who finna snitch. The snitch is in his camp, finna tell everything. And bro, you done went and did this to an off-duty police officer. Right, snitching on you, and you done went and did this dumbass shit to a goddamn off-duty police officer. Bro, you done snitched on yourself. Ain't nobody got to snitch on you. You're a fool. Ain't nobody got to snitch on Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty went out of town with an ankle monitor on. Okay? A dog. Snitching is when don't nobody know you do nothing and somebody told on you. Snitching is not when your daddy in Kinko's and everybody there and everything filmed is off. That's not snitching. How you gonna snitch on somebody doing everything in public? That's not snitching. If you go to a big place, got a lot of cameras, and you slap a woman on camera, and I go make a song say you slapped a woman, how am I snitching? When you done slapped this woman in front of 300 people and everybody recorded it. That's not snitching, bro. If you go and your wife at work and you get a woman to come by your house and have sex with you, and your wife catch you, and I make a record about it, that's not snitching, fool. You already snitched on yourself. Your wife caught you. Because non-street people is trying to talk street. That's why the guys told me I got to get on here, because they mad. They sick of non-street people talking about street. 99.9% of the dudes talking about street ain't that. And a lot of them dudes that you might say are street dudes that's talking is snitches. A lot of these YouTube dudes that's talking all this gangster shit is rats. A lot of these people calling people rats is rats. Facts. Got fake rules. Because no snitching is based off of loyalty. If you shoot me, no snitching don't apply. I could go right to court and say, yeah, he shot me. Nigga, you my enemy. No snitching is not for enemies. No snitching is for friends. No snitching is for me and you go do something. You get away, I don't. And to get out of trouble, I tell on you. But if me and you beefing and you my enemy, no snitching do not apply to my enemy. Nigga, fuck you. Yeah, him. Nigga, you not my friend. I'm going to tell the police everything. Yeah, I'm going to tell it all. Unless it's some street stuff. If it's some street stuff, then I'm supposed to handle it in the streets. But if you come in and you mad at me, you doing something over a woman or some shit like that, nigga, that street rules don't apply. I don't owe you shit. No snitching is based on you owe. No snitching is based on I owe you loyalty and I told on you. No snitching is not based on no enemy, no nigga I don't like, or no person I don't like. That's not no snitching. That's why the guys told me come get the record straight. You get no safety blanket if you're an enemy. No snitching is a safety blanket for your codees, for your co-defendants, for the people you do crimes with. That's what no snitching. That we rob a bank, it's 3 of us, 2 get away, I got caught. They want me to tell who the other 2 people is. That's snitching. Period. Snitching is based on telling on people you did something with or friends. That's snitching. Enemies do not go under the no snitching rule. If you're my enemy, nigga, fuck you. I don't give a damn what happened to you. Yeah, him. He shot me. You know, I don't give a damn if you go to jail, bro. Why should I know? Why should I know? What? Now you need to handle it in the streets. I'm going to do that too. I don't owe him nothing. Yeah, he shot me. He shot me twice, right down 131st and so-and-so at 9:45 p.m. for 45 seconds after 9:45. It was 9:45 and 45 seconds. And he shot me right down the corner. It was a blue light. It was a red car went by. It was right there by the liquor store. And then he ran west and then he went north. He had some blue shoes, the black pants. That picture right there, that's him. Yep, he shot me. No snitching, I owe you. That's why I don't snitch. I only don't snitch and go for people you owe. No snitching, do not go for nobody you don't goddamn know. I don't know who made that up. Enemies, there's no rules for enemies. Rules is for people you did. No snitches for people you did stuff with. That's it. No snitching is not for enemies. There's no rules for enemies. That's a fact. That's why the guys told me, would you go straighten them out? Boy, we not saving no enemy. So people say, so how is gangster when I tell? It's gangster when I tell because I'm going to tell you ain't going to do shit about it. It's still in the streets too. Real gangster shit. If I tell on you and you're not my friend and you walk up on me, you're going to get did dirty. I ain't promoting violence. I'm just telling y'all how it go. You get no blessings if you're the enemy. If you're my enemy and you Bugs Moran and I'm Al Capone and I found out you got liquor up there, hello, coppers? There's a liquor place up on the sun, so they gunned in. Click up. The gangsters call police on each other constantly to get the competition busted. Facts. I live in Chicago. Al and Bugs Moran sick the police on each other constantly. Gangster, the gangster street, gangster is the devil. The devil has no rules. And that includes stabbing a friend in the back. But when it's between a friend that you don't like no more and the police, you're never going to ride with the police. You only going to ride with the police on people that you hate more than the police, which is your enemy. See, it's the police, then your enemy. Your enemy, then the police. It's your enemy, it's the police, then it's friends that, ain't necessarily, but you like them better than the police. But anybody want to unalive you, anybody want to do something to you, anybody that's an enemy is lower than the police. What you don't tell is people that's above the police. Like your boy you did somewhere is above the police. So you don't sit the police. Even if you here and he there, you're going to handle that on yourself. But if he's a scumbag down to here and he would hurt you and your family, he don't get no saving from no damn police. It's by any means necessary. He got to go. If I catch you, if the police catch you, whoever catch you, I don't owe you nothing. So street codes, they teaching them all street codes. Street codes are still based on honor, that you owe this dude. You hustle with this dude. You get money with this dude. And then you got caught and you told. You told on somebody you was working with. That's snitching. A total enemy does not go under the street code. Anybody that's really in the street will tell you that. A total enemy does not get the safety of the street code. The street code is you snaking out your own team so you can get less time. That's snitching. 5 of us get arrested. I want to be talked to first because the first one get the least amount of time. That's snitching. For the young people don't know. When you come to crime, if we all get arrested for a case that could get us all 20 years, what we did is 20 years. Did I tell on the guy that stabbed me when he got caught? Yeah, I got on the stand, so that nigga right there stabbed me. Hell yeah. And I started to sling his kids out the window. But I had already had a relationship with his kids. I started to do his kids. That's going to be in my book, but just for you. Just for you. If you tried to do something to me, I'm going to try to get you in the penitentiary where I could pay some guys to get rid of you. So if I can get you anywhere that can hold you still, I'm going to do it. If I can get you in jail, if you try to hurt my family there, and I could get you in jail, and I could get you somewhere where they could sit you still. Because just because I snitch on you, it's not over. That's just the beginning. Now, once you go to prison, I'm going to put a bag on your motherfucking head. Because I'm a gangster, and if I snitch on you, what the fuck you going to do about it? Nothing. I'm looking for you anyway. So the sooner you show up, the better. Come holler at me about it. So you don't know gangster shit. You got that mask and shit on here. I don't believe you about that life. I don't believe it. Yeah, I don't believe it. What you mean I thought I did? I went to court. I said him. Yeah, he stabbed me. I want that nigga nothing. I'm trying to get that nigga 2,000 years. The fuck? Let me explain something to you. And there's another thing. When he stabbed me, I wasn't in the streets. I was a citizen. That's another thing. When he stabbed me, I wasn't no criminal. That's another thing. DJ Plug. When he stabbed me over. I was with a girl that he used to be with. But I was not a criminal. I didn't become a criminal until after I got stabbed and learned how to walk. That's when I became a demon. But when I got stabbed, I was just a righteous Rasta man. I was selling T-shirts and shit. I wasn't no street dude. I was selling T-shirts and feeding his kids and shit. I was a citizen. Yeah, I was a citizen. Look. Watch this. Watch this. I was a citizen when I got stabbed. I wasn't no. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all. You know I'm the realest nigga alive. Watch this. Watch this. The picture's worth 1,000 words. Now let me show you some pictures. Let me show you some pictures. The picture's worth 1,000 words. So this is me when I got stabbed. I'm just a roster. Hold on. I'm just a roster. Hold on. Because we be looking revolutionary. I don't want you to think it's gangster. Now, this is me when I got stabbed. I'm the one on the right. See? This is me when I got stabbed. See the baby? I'm the one on the right. See the vibe? You see the vibe? That's me when I got stabbed. Right? You see the vibe? I wasn't in the streets. I wasn't in the streets. I was like on some pro-black shit. That's me when I got stabbed. Right? That's me when I got stabbed. This is me after I got stabbed. See the difference? That's the me talking now. The other dude died. This dude died. That me died. And so you getting that dude mixed up with me. See what I'm saying? That's what my book is about. My book is about the difference between him and him. I'm not him. I'm not him. He gone. I'm him. And this one, he don't got no fucking rules. He got loyalty to his friends. But if you did me dirty, what I tell on you, yeah, what you gonna do about it? I'm gonna tell on you, and it's still up. Because it's fuck you. You ain't nobody anyway. I'm a gangster. I don't got no rules. The devil don't got no rules. That's why I'm trying to tell these young people that when you in the streets, you around devils. And them rules they telling you is bullshit. There is no rules in the streets. That's why so many young men is in prison now. Because their man told on them. There ain't all that no snitching, that's bullshit. The streets is dog eat dog and survival of the fittest. To the young brothers, do not believe that shit they telling you. There is no loyalty in the streets. The no snitching is not real. Not only will they tell on you, they'll go sleep with your baby mama. They will tell on you, get you sent to prison, and be hollering at your baby mama. The streets is the devil. The devil got no rules. The no snitching in the streets is bullshit. When it comes to how you function, yeah, that was my rock. When it comes to how you function, it's an independent thing. So independently, you have to make that decision. And in some cases, if a dude looking at 30 years away from his family and kids and everything, and he could tell on you and get home in 5 years, every man gonna have to weigh that out on his own. That's not gonna go by no rules. And that's nothing you can say until you're in that position. So you gotta be in that position before you say what you're gonna say, what you're gonna do. You gotta be in a position looking at 30 years gone. And you can tell on your best friend and go home in 2 years. Until you're in that position, you're just talking. Until you're in a position where it's him or you, you're just talking. I've never been in that position, so I can't say. But if I had to estimate that I'm looking at 5 years, now I'm looking at 30 years, and I could tell on my best friend and get 5 years, I'm looking at it like this. I'm gonna be looking at it like this. Is this nigga really my friend? So I'm gonna be looking at it. I'm gonna keep it honest. And I'm gonna think, do I want to be a stand-up dude and do 30 years? Or which one I want to be, stand up or go home? I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. If I'm doing 30 years, and I could tell on you and go home in 2 or 3 years, I have to make the decision. Guess what the decision is? The decision ain't based on them I'm gonna tell on you or not. The decision is you a real friend? Or am I finna do this time for a motherfucker that wouldn't do it for me? That's gonna be the decision. The decision gonna be, is it worth saving you? If you my brother, like we got the same mama, yeah. But if you're a motherfucking friend, and I think of any sly shit you ever said, or any snake ass shit, I'm going home and you going to prison. Fuck you. I ain't finna hold no loyalty to no nigga. I can't even trust you. Cause the same motherfucker I don't tell on you might be there fucking my wife. In the real streets, I could go home if I tell on you, but I don't tell on you. And you at home fucking my wife. Am I telling the truth or not? Do it not go like that? Does it go like that? Does what I'm saying, does it happen like that? Does it? Can you stand up for a dude that'll snake you? Does it happen like that? I just want to put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Does it happen like that? Do you stand up for a mug that wouldn't do it for you? If the shoe is on the other foot, he'll tell on you. So what you gonna do? You gonna stand up for a motherfucker that wouldn't stand up for you? Come on. Come on. So people say, well, why would you say that? I'm telling the youth. This is the devil's world. You see this picture? Okay, there ain't no rules. It's dog eat dog, okay? You see this picture? It's dog eat dog. There's rules as long as it don't affect me. Yeah, there's rules. But if it's you or me, it's going to be you. So if you're an angel, stay in an angel's world. But if you go playing with Lucifer, just understand that's what you're doing. You can't play over here and over there. Stay over here. And you ain't got to worry about going to prison. You ain't got to worry about snitching. But if you go over here on the dark side, don't be trying to go on the dark side looking for no righteousness. That's what these shorties don't understand. You want to do crimes, you want to run the street, you want to dance with the devil, and then you want rules. The devil didn't write the 10 Commandments. The devil don't got rules. Only the God side got thou shalt not kill and all that shit. So if God say thou shalt not kill, what do the devil say? Kill him if you have to. I'm just saying, let's take a break. Come on, I'm going to keep it. I'm telling the shorties how it really is. Let me explain something to you. The street rules is this. You go by the street rules. If you don't go by the street rules, they're going to do something to you. Let's just call it what it is. So if I snitch, they're going to do something to me because I told. Right? Now, let's say you the kind of person that be doing stuff to people. Does that apply to you if you're the shooter? In other words, if I'm a demon and I'm on demon time and I tell on you and you say you're going to do something to me, but I'll do something to you, do your rules apply? If I'm the gangster, do your rules apply? You ain't going to do nothing. Because I'll tell on you and do something to you. So what you going to do? Because it ain't no righteousness over there. There's not no righteousness. If I tell on you, what you going to do about it? Alpo, nobody did nothing for how long? There's big time gangster snitches walking around here. Everybody know they told. Nobody gonna say nothing to them. Nobody gonna say nothing to the shooter when he snitch, because he's still a shooter. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing to him. So what do he care? You don't like he told, run up then. You know what I'm saying? Now, snitching is based on fear that somebody gonna do something, but if you're the one doing stuff, that don't apply. You know why? Because all them rules, those rules don't apply to the streets. The street rules is self-preservation. That's it. That's the rules on the street. Self-preservation. It's the only real rules. Protect your neck and look out for yourself. And don't trust nobody. That includes your wife. You don't trust nobody. You might trust your little kids, but then you got to sit down with them and tell them not what to say. Don't you go up to school and say this and say that, what you see daddy around here doing. Keep your goddamn mouth shut. You know when you're a gangster, you got to teach your kids early. Don't say nothing happened in this house. You know that, right? And you got to try to make sure they don't see nothing. But you still want them, if they, whatever they see, they got to keep their goddamn mouth. It's gangster all the way around. You got to be gangster with your kids. Did y'all know that? You know, when you live in that world and you know your son come on with his best friend and his best friend saying, you know, you tell your son, watch that nigga. It's a mess up. Hey, I know y'all don't want to hear. I'm the realest nigga. I'm telling you, this is how we raise our kids. I'm telling you. My son come on with his little best friend and they plan to leave. And when he leave, I come on, son, come here. What's up, Dad? Watch that nigga. What you mean, Dad? You can't trust him. He cool, he your friend, hang with him, but always keep a space. And don't let your guard down. That's what you teach your kids. You tell, especially your son. See, that's your friend, right? And then you tell them, take the R out of friend and what you got. You take the R out of friend and you got fiend. You got a fiend. Don't trust him. Never put yourself in a position where he got any control. And keep your girlfriend away from him. You and your girlfriend gonna do y'all thing. Do not have your girlfriend around no dudes. Because you never know a snake until they bite you. And there's a lot of men that came home and found their friend leaving out their house or seen their phone number in their wife's phone. And that's your main man. And it breaks your heart. Because the whole time you thought that was your man. And the whole time he hated you. Because a lot of the time your friend hates you. They be around you every day, but they can't stand you. They can't stand you. That's a fact. That's a fact. You can't trust nobody but yourself. The only person you can trust is you. You can't trust no woman. You can't trust nobody. Trust is something that the person got on their own. So I might got a woman and she loyal, but she loyal on her own. Me trusting her ain't going to affect her loyalty. Her loyalty is only based on her. And she could be loyal if she want to, and she could be disloyal if she want to. And it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with our relationship or nothing. It's all on her. And you don't know what's in a person's mind. Anybody could go bad on you. So you always deal with self-preservation. You always make sure that you protecting yourself from everybody. Yeah, you married and you love your wife, but don't let her know where all your money is at. Uh-uh. Before you could get to the point you let her know all that, y'all both like 60 years old, and you done been with her, and now she done showed and proved. You done been with Margaret. It's been me and Margaret. I'm married. We got married. We 20. We've been together 45 years. You can trust her because trust is earned. You can only trust after the fact of the matter. Loyalty is proven, not expected. Your real friend is the one that years and years and years, and he's still there. You can trust him because he didn't show and prove. But you 20, 30 years old and shit? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'm telling y'all a fact. The only person you could trust is yourself and your mama. Now, your mama, you could trust her mama 99.99% of the time. Mommy getting down. Mommy riding. There's very few cases where mommy, very few. You can trust your mama more than your wife or your husband. That's a fact. Mommy getting down. That's always your ace boom coon is your mama. Your daddy, he could be kind of loyal, but your daddy will throw you to the curb because he a man. But you can go to jail 20 times and mama gonna come see you. On my soul. And ain't gonna want nobody talking bad about you. You could be a total piece of shit, but they better not say it in front of your mama. You know what I'm saying? That's why the song, I always love my mama. She's my favorite girl. You only got one. That's the only one. The one that gave birth to you. That's the only super solid one. Now for me, I got my sister. Because when I was 3, she was 2. When I was 4, she was 3. And me and my sister, my mother passed away, my daddy gone, but my sister is the only person I trust 100%. Yeah, this is going to be say. My sister is the only one I can trust 1,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,0 come here at 3 and do this. And if she say, okay, she going to be there. If she can't be there, she say, I can't be there at 3, but I'll come at 4. Okay. My sister going to take penitentiary chance, everything for me. And because we so close, I would never make her take penitentiary chances. That's what I'm trying to tell them. I'm telling them the real, ain't I? Because your mama, you was hooked to her in biblical course. She gave birth to you. So that's a whole different type of unity right there. Because your mama is so emotional. She remembered when she pushed you out. She remembered that day. She remembered when you was kicking her in her stomach. Seriously. You and your mama had a relationship with her. You had a relationship with your mama. You was in her stomach. You just didn't know it. She just sit there and rub you and think about you. Can't wait till she see you. Your mama loved you before you was born. Oh, my soul. That's the only one. And that's why we got to teach our children to stay out the streets. We got to teach our children to stay out the streets. You understand? Especially your sons. Because we lose our sons Because our sons be believing that street shit. A lot of us, we lose our sons to fake street teaching. We lose our sons to that stuff. Yeah, we lose our sons to the fake street teachers. That's the biggest part of raising boys. And we lose our daughters. Our daughters fall in love with these dudes, and the dudes run over. And your daughter all in love with him, thinking he the greatest ever. And next thing you know, he do a dirty. And when I say dirty, I mean dirty. And we lose a lot of people based off of this fake situation. We lose a lot of people with that. We lose, especially our sons. We lose a lot of sons based on this fake friends. A lot of sons. We be losing. I'm sick of it. And a lot of dudes ain't gonna like what I'm saying in this live because they want to be able to misuse our sons and make our sons believe all this fake stuff. Them boys gonna go in there and they gonna tell, man, they gonna tell on Pooh Shiesty. They gonna tell. Some of them same dudes he showed love and he took with him, man, they gonna tell. They gonna tell. They gonna break his heart. They gonna tell. Them same shorties that he looking out for, come on, man, come, they gonna tell. They gonna send him right to prison. Them same ones he took with him. You always gotta remember one thing. Remember that song? Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Ain't no love in the heart of town. Y'all remember that song? Boy, you can believe that shit if you want to. I got responsibility to tell the youth. I don't got no responsibility to hold a street code. A street code is only legitimate as the street person that you depending on to keep the street code, right? So what good is a street code when a street code is dependent on somebody keeping the street code and the people that's supposed to keep the street code is sleazeballs? So you want me to keep a street code for somebody that's going to throw me under the bus? Do you know why so many dudes, do you know why dudes snitch? Do you know why dudes snitch? Dudes snitch because 5 of us get arrested. They come to me first. We looking at 30. The first one tell go home. They come to me first. And they let me know. We're going to ask you first. We'll cut you a deal for 5 years. What you want to tell us? And you got a few minutes. Or we going to go to number 2. So now, I'm not telling just because I don't want to go to jail. I'm telling because now I'm thinking the first one tell go home early. out of them four, somebody gonna tell. So I'm not making a decision to tell. I'm making a decision to tell first. So the idea that you're not supposed to snitch is only legitimate if don't nobody snitch. You understand? See, no snitching for in the gangster world is only valid if everybody do it. That they don't tell y'all that part. So if you're in the mob or the mafia, no snitching means everybody. No snitching does not mean you. If you are in a crew of five, no snitching is not for you. No snitching is for all five of y'all. If all five of y'all don't go by no snitching, then it's irrelevant. They trying to make it like no snitching is an individual thing. No. No snitching is a group mentality. Because if don't nobody snitch, we could probably beat the case. We got a chance of beating it if everybody keep their mouth closed. So the reason dudes snitch, because they know everybody not going to keep their mouth closed. So it's when I get locked up with you, it's not a matter of not snitching. It's not a matter of beating the case. It's a matter who going home first. That's a fact. Hey, don't be mad at me. That's what it is. Anybody, any real nigga will tell you. Five of us get locked up. Who going home first? Who going home? No snitching is not going to happen. Somebody going to snitch. Somebody's going to snitch. So no snitching is not, don't snitch. Snitching is based on, I might as well be the one to go home. So they say, so where would you snitch? The question is not would I snitch. The question is, would I snitch first? Because guess what? Guess what they don't tell you about no snitching? You don't always get the opportunity to snitch. If I'm the main person they want, I ain't going to get to snitch anyway. Facts. Ask these gangsters out here. If you're the main target, you ain't going to get no opportunity to snitch. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. If I'm the main target, ain't no need in telling me no snitching. They are not going to cut me a deal. I'm the one they want. See, they don't tell all this. That's why there's rumors Pooh Shiesty snitching. To try to see if he can get less deal and throw everybody else under the bus. But that ain't going to work if he the main one they want. But if they can get a bunch of people and further their career, they might. It depends on if it furthers their career as a law enforcement. But everybody don't get a chance to snitch. And so when they say no snitching, they try to make the young people think everybody going to get an opportunity to snitch. You ain't going to necessarily get no damn opportunity to snitch. Not if you're the target. You ain't going to necessarily get the opportunity to snitch. So then it comes down to, are you willing to go to prison for another dude? Is it you or them? That's what it really comes down to. Are you willing to go to prison? Are you willing to do a crime with 5 people and somebody go home and you don't? Why they don't never ask that question? Are you willing to get arrested with 5 dudes and one of them go home and the other 4 y'all don't? Because that's basically the deal. Because when the 5 of y'all get arrested, no snitching don't apply because somebody is going to snitch. So no snitching is a make-believe concept. Snitching is going to happen. Snitching is going to happen. No snitching is not real. No snitching is a fake concept. That's why Troy Ave say the streets is a myth. Young brothers, if you get in trouble with some dudes, somebody gonna snitch, period. So what's the point of saying no snitching with somebody for show snitching? Should be the saying. Instead of no snitching, for show snitching. Somebody gonna tell. Bring me anybody. You could bring me the mob. And the mob, I could say things to make the mob say, he's 100% correct. Even the mob, even the Italian mobsters, I could say something to them that would make them agree with me. Facts. Facts. What is it I would say? If you look back at the Italian mob, their big thing was what? Their big thing was no drugs. And why? Why the original Italian mob said no drugs? Put it in the chat. Why was drugs off limit with the gangsters? Put it in the chat. Why was drugs off limit? Why they did not allow drugs? Bingo. Bingo. They didn't want drugs because the Dons and the Godfather said that if a man get pinched for stealing mink coats and stuff, a man will do 3 years, a man will do 5 years. But they said ain't no man gonna do 20 years. When it gets to where he got to be 20 years away from his wife, he's going to tell. These are facts. The time was too long and nobody would stand up. They already knew that. They know ain't no man leaving his wife for no 20 years. And his family. It's not gonna happen. And they was 100% right, because when they started touching drugs, they started snitching. Because it used to be used in the mob. You get caught with some fur coats, they give you 5, you're out in 2. Hey, Louis, you're out. How's the wife and kids? They're doing fine. Johnny's in the 4th grade now. You left he's in the 2nd grade. 20 years, he in the 2nd grade. When you get out, he might be unalive. He grown, married. You missed all that. Nobody doing that. They was 1,000,000,000% correct. And so these dudes is doing crimes where they getting too much time. They gonna tell. When me and you do a crime and we looking at 2 or 3 years and they want me to snitch on you, nah, I'll do the 3. But we doing the crime and I'm looking at 30 years and I could tell on you and go home, and make you do the 30 years, you finna do 30. Well, I'm not doing no 30 years for you. At this point, at this point, it's the fittest of the fittest. And then when you tell, they call you a rat when everybody was gonna be a rat. Then we are rats. I just the one that ratted. When we get arrested, we are rats. I'm just the one gonna tell first. I'm going home, nigga. They say, Pharaoh, you'll tell. So I ask myself, so what you want to be on some Jesus Christ shit? I'm supposed to be righteous? Nigga, I'm the devil. I'm doing devil shit. You want me to be decent? Nigga, I'm a criminal. What? I'm a scumbag. I'm a criminal. What are you talking about rules? There ain't no goddamn rules. If I'm a shooter and I'm dangerous, I'm a shooter, right? And everybody know Pharaoh is the dangerous shooter. And me, you get arrested. And we looking at 20, I could tell it you would go home. If I'm the shooter, what the hell is going to happen if I tell on you anyway? Nothing. I'm the shooter. I'm straight. If I tell on you, what you going to do about it? Nothing. This gangster shit. F you and everything you stand on. They trying to sell our youth gangster stuff and then put religions like it's a holy gangster. Like you have to be a righteous gangster and don't tell. There's no righteous gangster. It's dog eat dog. Bro, if it's me and you and one of us getting 30 years, then you might as well get comfortable. Because if they come to me, I'm telling. Because we gangsters and it's fuck you and everything you stand on. I'm the devil. What the hell? That's the part I don't understand. Listen, I had a house that sold stuff and all that. Was that when I was in the street? Was I a nice guy? Was I a honest, nice? I was honest. I did fair business, but I'm saying, was I an angel when I was in the streets? Was I the angel? Could you really be my real friend when the pressure got on when I was in the streets? Yeah, we not in the streets, whatever. Yeah. You get in trouble, you get pinched, you might do five. But we get pinched and it's you or me or me. So if it's you or me, now we get into the point. Are you my real friend? Do you ever talk about me behind my back? Do you be looking at my woman's booty when she walk past? I got to think about all that. Because when you got a friend, you got no evidence that your friend is your friend. And so me not telling you and me willing to do the 30 years and let you out, I got to think about, is you even, have you been decent with me? Have you been decent with me behind my back? Have you been talking about me behind my back and all that? Because you could go and somebody get caught and you could take the time and they go home and they tell on you and go home and you take the time and then find out he talking about you like a dog. He don't put no money on your books. He just got your wife pregnant. Him and your wife just had a baby. He married your wife. He married your ex. You call a house, he over there. In the real world. I was at a person's house. We was all hustling at the highest level. So we was at his house, his wife, him and his wife, me and my wife, another hustler and his wife, another hustler and his wife. And everybody's smiling and it's kiki, and it's the beautifulest thing. So it got evening, late evening, and people, you know how they start leaving. So the first couple said, all right, y'all, it was nice. You know how black folks is, oh man, we glad y'all came. Ah, yeah, ah. And then they left. And when they left, the dude and his wife that was throwing the event started talking about him like a dog. So it's 5 couples. Couple one left. Couple one left. They immediately started talking about him like a dog. Then it was just, glad y'all came. They left. Switch just like that. On everything I love, is the truth. Couple number 2. All right, y'all. We finna go. And they left. And they started talking about him like a dog. And then my wife was mad at me because I said, after the second couple left and they talked about him, I said, I ain't leaving. And then everybody got mad. This is true. You can't make this shit up. I saw everybody leave. They talk about like a dog. So when they talked about the second couple, I looked at the couple and said, I'm not leaving. And they didn't think that was funny. My wife didn't like it either when we got home. She said, you ain't have to say that. I said, well, listen, you know what I'm saying? What they was going to do about it. You know what I'm saying? My wife, when I got home, she said, you don't have to say that. I said, hey, I could have let this thing do all the talking. Man, fuck them. They snakes. They was going to do us the same way as soon as we walk out the door. I never went back. Because you done already showed me you ain't shit. Everybody left that you smiled with them until they got right out the door and you flipped on them. So now, let's say me and him get arrested and I could tell and go home and he could do the 30 years. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell and go home. You know why? Because he would do it. Because he talked about people as soon as they got outside the door. And you can't trust him further you could see his ass. Now, I'm not showing him no goddamn loyalty because he not going to show me none. As young brothers, I'm telling you what I'm telling you. When you're in a situation where you got to save yourself or somebody else, why would you save somebody that won't save you? Let your shoe be on the other foot. They telling. So if you get the opportunity to tell first, you better tell. Because, hey, the streets could say whatever the hell they want to say. I don't give a damn about the streets. You can get on the internet. You can call me a snitch all day. As long as you do it on the internet. That's for all you gangsters out there. You can be as gangster as you want to be, as long as you ain't standing around me. So you could be gangster on this internet. You can say whatever the hell you want on this internet. But show me you really about that life and walk up to me with that energy and see how that go for you. Because if I'll leave you in jail, I'll leave you. The streets ain't going to say shit to me. The streets ain't going to be mad at me. 85% of niggas on the street going to say, that's real shit. That nigga, 80% of the 85% of people on the street going to say that's real shit. They just wouldn't, they ain't got the balls to say it. They all going to know. They all going to say he ain't lying. Most street niggas is just going to say, I can't believe he said it though. That's what they go. They go. That's the realest nigga alive. I can't believe he said that shit. That's what most niggas. I'm telling you, I'll be outside. Most niggas gonna be like, I can't believe he said that shit. That's what they mostly gonna be thinking. They mostly just ain't gonna believe I said it out loud. Because you ain't supposed to say it out loud. Because a lot of gangsters ain't the type of monster I am. So if you was a gangster, super gangster, and you ran off with somebody's money, and you the super duper duper gangster, you know, one of my jobs was to go get the money back from the super duper gangster. I'm just telling you. I dealt in gangsterism. Yeah, I was the one run up on super gangsters. Because I wasn't no super gangster. I was the devil. It's a difference. It's a difference between the gangster and the devil. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't no gangster. I ain't never been no gangster. I was just the devil, and I was just doing my job. And my job was, I got paid to come see you. Unfortunately, hey, don't cry. I was, I wasn't no gangster. I ain't never been no gangster. I was a hustler, but I had a side job. I worked for Lucifer Incorporated. You know what I'm saying? I was not no gangster. What's worse than a gangster? Well, I was that. I wasn't no gang. I was never no gangster. I never been. I was a hustler, but I was never a gangster. But I worked on the side for Devils Incorporated. I was a demon though. A demon's not a gangster. I got hired because I worked for Lucifer Incorporated because doesn't matter what kind of gangster you is. If I walk up behind you, you know what I'm saying? You just lost. You know what I'm saying? I was also espionage, SB, I was on some 007. It doesn't matter how gangster you is. It's whoever get the drop on you, you lose. If I get the drop on you and I ain't to be fucked with, you're gonna cooperate. Or not. And you're gonna get the last thing the last motherfucker got that did cooperate. You know. Oh, you didn't know that was me? Nobody knew it was me. That's why I never been to prison. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? And I know they not shit. They not shit. What's my message? I'm trying to scare the young people. Stay out of it. All that stuff they telling y'all, it's all fake. Get a good job. Go do something decent with your life. And watch your friends then. Keep a lot of people away from you. There's not a lot of good people. Always remember, young brother, the really good people ain't gonna fuck with you. Listen, the really good people, they're not gonna be at your house. The only motherfucker gonna be at your house all the time is the scumbags. The other decent people stay off to themselves. You're not gonna have a lot of relationships with decent people. Very decent, righteous people are anti-sociable. Sociable people is rats and snakes. Facts. Sociable people is rats and snakes. The decent dude is not going to hang with you. The decent dude's not going to hang with you. The only person got time to hang with you is scum buckets. I'm telling them, hey, Studio 202, decent dudes ain't going to hang with your son like that, are they? The only way decent dudes could get around your son if some type of positive something come up, and then they only going to come, do the positivity, and they're going to go. They're not going to socialize. They're going to come, do what we do, and we go. Come, do what we do. They're not going to be all under you like that. Those is all. No. For your sons to make it, They have to stay off to themselves if they gonna survive. Because everybody around them hate them and is jealous of them. Because they only around you because you can do well. Soon as you ain't doing well, they gone. The only reason they around you because they leeches. Because you got something to offer. If your ass was broken down and out, you couldn't find them to save your life. Tell your sons, Big Pharaoh, tell Uncle Pharaoh, say, stay away from them dudes. Tell your sons they don't need no friends. They got each other. They need to hang around each other and look out for each other. They don't need nobody else. What the hell they need friends for? They brothers. You tell them they don't got no friends. Tell them Pharaoh said they only friends they got is their brother. Period. And if it ain't the brothers, everybody else can kiss their ass. You tell them Pharaoh said that. They don't need no damn friends. That's they brothers. What they need with friends. They don't need no friends. They got each other. Make sure you tell them they don't need no goddamn friends. They got each other. And when something go down, the only one gonna look out for them is their brothers and their mama. Them other dudes ain't gonna do shit for them. If I need someone, call my sister. I got a friend. My sister, my cousin. I grew up with them. My cousin gonna come no matter what. If I say, man, I got to go to hell and fight 3 devils, my cousin like, what time you want me to pick you up? And the street code is bullshit. Stay out the streets. Don't do no crimes. And if you get in trouble and the police come and offer you less time, tell. Tell them Big Pharaoh said that. Tell them if you get in trouble with some dudes and the police come to them and offer them less time, tell them tell. Because they're the first one. It's the instant part nobody will take. They're the first one they offer less time. And when they go to the second one or the third one, they gonna tell. So you're not telling, you telling first. And nobody want to tell that part. You're not telling. You're telling first. So when you ask me, Pharaoh, if you get in trouble with some dudes, would you tell? That's not the right question. You got to ask me, Pharaoh, if you get in trouble with some dudes, would you tell first? Is what you got. You know what I'm saying? To ask me the real question, because in the streets, the real question is, would I tell first? Because somebody gonna tell. So don't be like, Pharaoh said he'll tell. Say, Pharaoh said he'll tell first. You got to put the first on there. Pharaoh said he'll tell first. If you don't put the first on there, you ain't saying it right. Because if you say I tell, you acting like telling ain't going to happen. And I'm the only one finna tell. But somebody going to tell anyway. So no snitching is irrelevant. How is no snitching relevant when somebody gon' snitch? Somebody gon' snitch. Somebody gon' snitch. So why is you living by no snitching? No, somebody gon' snitch. No snitching is just a saying. That's not real. There's no such thing as no snitching. That doesn't exist. No snitching doesn't exist. That's not real. The real saying is somebody gonna snitch. Okay? Somebody is going to snitch is the real saying. Yeah, I'm the realest nigga alive. Young people. Somebody is going to snitch. And when they tell y'all don't snitch, it gives you the mentality that you'll be the only one snitching. No, you won't. Somebody gonna snitch. Period. Somebody gonna snitch. That's why a lot of criminals don't do no crimes with nobody. We don't put ourselves in a position for nobody to snitch. We got a saying we say, and it go like this: we do our dirt all by our lonely. Nobody snitched on me because I was for dolo solo. I didn't have no codees. There is nobody to snitch. All my dealings, I had my beeper, I had my weapon, I had my stuff, and I went to my customers by myself. All my crimes I did by myself. I didn't even have my wife with me. She stay home. She can't tell because she don't know. She don't know nothing. I'm by myself in my car getting my money by myself. There is nobody to snitch. That's why I beat all my cases. Because there was nobody in court but me. And when I'm in court, I didn't do nothing. I'm an angel. I'm straight from heaven. And I would never, ever, ever, never do that, Your Honor. The police is lying. I'm as a good boy. This is a travesty. Your Honor, do I look like I would sell that and do that? That's how I beat my cases. And if I tell on you, it's because you can't go to jail. That's not my gun. That's my wife's gun. And she got a car, and it's really her gun. She's not going to jail. It fell out of her purse under the seat in the car. Go look it up. So I would tell on her. I would tell on my wife all the time. All the guns was my wife's, let me tell it. Yeah, that's hers. Because they can't do nothing. She was a legal gun. You know what I'm saying? I know how to tell. I'm going to tell on somebody can't go to jail. She can't go to jail. I used to keep the gun under the passenger seat, not under my seat. That way I could say the passenger might have fell out their purse or whatever, I didn't know that was under there. You know what I'm saying? I was a real criminal. I don't know nothing. I didn't see nothing. I don't know. The police put me over. I know my rights. And my rights is I got the right to remain silent. I exercise my damn rights. That's why I never been to prison, because I don't know nothing and I ain't seen nothing. That's another thing. Brother, shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing until you get to court for the trial. Don't say nothing before the trial. That gives you time to get your lie together. Get your lie together. Why is you talking early? You don't got your lie together. Wait till you get in front of the judge. That could be a year from now, 2 years from now. You got 2 years to get your lie together. Why is you trying to lie so early? Just be quiet. They say, so Pharaoh, is this yours? Is this that? I want to see my lawyer. That's what I got to say. And I'm only saying that once. After that, this is what I'm saying. So what about this, that? So what about that? I'm not saying I don't know. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying nothing. And then if you ask me 4 or 5 more questions, I'm going to say the same thing I said 6 questions ago. I want to see my lawyer. And then they're going to leave. And they're going to say, we got a real one. He's not going to say anything. He's a pro. As a matter of fact, he might be innocent. I don't know. Because at that point, you might be innocent. They don't know if you're guilty or not. So if you keep your mouth shut, then the police can't really say you guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt because you ain't said nothing. So when you don't say nothing, then they can't prove without reasonable doubt. I be giving motherfuckers hell of a reasonable doubt. I'm Mr. Reasonable Doubt. It's a whole lot of goddamn reasonable doubt. So I'm going on. Yeah, my name is Reasonable Doubt. You could call me Hella Doubt. Yeah, I'm not telling y'all shit. That the more you run your mouth, the less reasonable doubt they got. They the police, let them figure it out. Shut the hell up. You got the right to remain silent. That's the only right you got. And listen, young people, young brothers especially, this the part you got to remember. They say, anything said, anything, and the can part ain't what's dangerous. They tell you anything said can. That's not too bad. But you know what they say? And will be held against you in a court of law. Now take can out of there. Young black brothers, take the word can out of there. And what did they just tell you? Anything said will be used against you in the court of law. Anything. Anything said will be used against you. They just say can and will. But fuck the can part. Anything you say will be used against you in the court of law. So you don't say nothing until you get in front of a judge with your lawyer. Because they're going to start asking you questions based off what you said. And if you say the wrong thing that's the opposite of what you said, you're fried. So you can't even lie good because you done opened your mouth. They say anything said will be used against you. First they say can. They say anything said can and will. That's the part. Anything said will be used against you in the court of law. That's saying anything. Civil case, all that. Keep your goddamn mouth shut until you go see a lawyer. You don't say nothing. The lawyer's the one help you get your lie together, help you get your story together. The lawyer the one going to tell you what to say, what not to say. The lawyer the one going to be object to stop you from saying the wrong thing. They ask you the certain thing, the lawyer going to give you, you know what I'm saying? And jail calls, letters, and all that. Don't say nothing on them phones. Don't say nothing in them letters. Don't say nothing in jail. When I was in the county jail, they say, Pharaoh, what you in for? I say, I'm in here because the police lying on me, trying to say I did something. I'm giving y'all game. I was in the county jail for 4 months. And they said, what you in here for? I say, because they lying on me. Police lying on me, trying to say I'm doing stuff. I lied so much about not doing nothing. That was about 2 years later. I was still lying. And I said, I can start lying. I've been beat the case. I lied so long that the case was over. I was still lying. I was still saying nothing and do nothing. I was lying. Hey, Studio 2. I lied so much that I started believing it. I believed it. I lied that much. 2-3 years later, I was still lying. I had to catch myself. Bro, you can stop lying now. It's over. You can stop lying. Yeah, you had the shit. Yeah, you did it. I was still saying I ain't do nothing. Been beat the case 3 years ago. I was still lying. I was still lying. I believed it. I really believed it. I started believing that I was innocent. And this is a travesty. I swear to God, I lied that much. When I beat my case, my lawyer said, I ain't never seen nothing like that. He offered me a job. He said, Pharaoh, I ain't gonna lie. I've been a lawyer for 40 years. I ain't never seen nothing like that. He ain't never seen nothing like that. At one point, they was cross-examining me. And the police officer, the white lady said, well, what did he pull you over for? And I said, he pulled me over because I was black. And that's all they do is harass black people and do stuff to black people. Just say, you answer the question, I would say too much. You're just supposed to say, they pulled me over because I was black, but not me. I would run a whole script. So, boy, that prosecutor was mad. That prosecutor say, so why did he pull you over then? I said, he pulled me over because I'm black. And that's all he do is drive up and down the street, just pull up black people all day. That's all they do is harass black. The judge say, okay. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The judge had to cut me off. I swear, and the police, and listen, when they get you on the stand, they try to get you frustrated, right? They try to get you frustrated, right? What I did, the police officer said, that's a lie. I got the police. It was a white lady, but I chewed her up. Listen, I made the police get frustrated. Then the prosecutor would say, why did you go to the left and the right? I'd be like, because this. They should come back later. Why did you go to the left and the right? And I would look at the judge. Didn't she just ask me that? The judge would be like, answer the question, sir. I tell him the same story. She'd come back a few minutes later. Why did you do this and that? I look at the judge. Answer the question, sir. I tell her the same story. So the fourth time, she said, why'd you do this and that? The judge said, he said that already. Well, you cannot make this up. By the fourth time, when she asked me the same question, hey, I'm giving y'all game. So you know what I was doing psychologically? I was making friends with the judge. I always will talk to the judge. Well, Your Honor, she tripping. So the first time we went to lunch, and my lawyer said, cut it out with all the theatrics or some shit. He said down in the lunchroom in Markham Courthouse, y'all know I ain't lying. He said, cut it out, you're blowing the case. I said, shut the fuck up. I'll pay you. Shut your ass up. So I told my lawyer. All the black people's like, he seen me talking to a white man like that. I told him, shut the fuck up. I'm paying you. You shut the fuck up and do what I'd say. That same white lawyer, when they found me not guilty, he said, Pharaoh, I ain't never seen nothing like that before in my life. He offered me a job. He wanted me to be investigator for him. I'm like, listen, man, I'm investigating my wife's pussy and some money. Sorry. I investigate pussy and ass and money. That's why I investigate. You know, I'm a pussy investigator, you know. I investigate fat asses and pussy and titties and shit. That way he said, I never seen nothing like that. I know you didn't, but you ain't, nigga, I'm the one going to jail. I got to talk for myself. A closed mouth don't get fed. You do your job. I could be a lawyer. I know how to beat my case. When you go to court, young brothers, they trying to get you frustrated and trip you up. Your job is to get them frustrated and trip them up. That's your job. You got to throw it back on them. So when she asked me why the police put me up, I said, that's all white police do. Drive up and down the black community, pull over the black people, trying to put fake cases on us. That's all they do. They always harassing us. Blah, blah, blah. The judge said, okay, you said enough. So she said, once again, why you pull over? Because I'm black. He said, that's a lie. He said, the police officer. Got him all out of his body. The judge had to tell him, okay, sir, you're out of order. Yeah, he been out of order. Harassing niggas and shit. I try to tell you, this bitch ass out of order. I didn't say that part, but that was the basic thing. That was trying to tell you, y'all, his bitch ass be out of order. I beat the case. I beat all my cases. And I had a gun case after that. They had moved that case up before my gun case. Boy, they was mad. Ooh. So when the gun case came, ooh, they was like, all right, nigga, you doing 3 years, though, Mr. Smart. Because I was an 8 to 30 case. So when they came up for that gun case that we moved back, because I had the gun case, I had a gun case, probation, and a gun case, and then that case. So my lawyer moved that one back and beat the big one first, and then we got the gun case. So the prosecutor and the state's attorney that was like, my lawyer's like, well, we trying to work out probation. No, we want 3 years. So they were mad. They was like, no, we want 3 years. And my lawyer like, yeah, but we could work out something, get probation. We ain't got to go through that. No, we want 3 years. We're sick of him beating cases and shit. The judge is like, so what you want to do? Your Honor, I want a continuance. I go back the next time, 3 years, continuance. Go back next time, 3 years, continuance. Every time we go, continuous. I want a continuous. Hey, I could have made a step or so. Continuous. Hey, that's all I want is continuous. Finally, I went one day. They said, okay, probation, you fucking asshole. Basically. Oh, probation, let's go. Let's go. They said, we want 1 year probation. Oh, yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's do that one. We do that one. We'll do the probation. Let's do that. I think it was 2 years probation. Because they was like, you got a gun case already, and you got gun cases. And on this gun case, we want 3 years. And then finally, I said, continuous. That's all I want. And every month I kept saying, so finally we went, and they stood up. They said, we'll give them probation. Let's go. Now you're talking. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that right now, y'all. Let's we don't got to go through this no more. We take the probation. No, the continuance gets done because every time you go to court, you got to give your lawyer $500, $300. Every time you go to court, you paying your lawyer. Your lawyer not coming and fighting that. Your lawyer, I had a big lawyer. If you got a big lawyer, they're going to do what the lawyer want to do. Now, if you got a public defender, no, the court going to overrun. But if you got a big-time lawyer, the lawyer controls everything. If the lawyer say continuous, it's continuous, right? Because the court system needs both sides. So the court system, if the lawyers lose all the time, it ruins the court system because now the lawyers can't get no clients. So they got to let the lawyers win. They got to let the big lawyers win. So it goes like this to the young brothers. You got this prosecutor and this lawyer, this prosecutor and this lawyer, this prosecutor and this lawyer, and the top prosecutor and the top lawyer. So young brothers, when you go to court, they need the court system to run. So if you hire a top lawyer, unless it's a high profile case, they won't match a high paying lawyer with a top prosecutor. Because somebody got to win or somebody got to lose. So if you got your money and you get a top lawyer, they'll give him this prosecutor. They'll give him a prosecutor that can afford to lose. That's how the game goes. To ensure that you can beat the case. Because you got to understand, here's a prosecutor, here's the lawyer, right? They're in court. That lawyer is always in court. That prosecutor is always in court. They end up for different cases, but they're always in court, right? So if a lawyer is always in court, that's how he makes his money, and a prosecutor is always in court, guess who else is always in court? The judge. So the judge, the prosecutor, and the lawyer, they all know each other. They are buddies. They are co-workers. Young black man, listen to me. When you go to court, everybody in the courthouse are co-workers. They're making money off a product. And guess who the product is? You're the product. You're the work. They're all at work, and you are the work. So when you see all these black men in court, that's the work. And the stenographer, the little secretary, the judge, the lawyers, the prosecutors, you're the work. Without you, they're not at work. Listen to the young brothers. This is the most game you're going to get about the system. Y'all need to subscribe. To all the young brothers, subscribe. So when I walk in the courtroom, I'm the work. From the time I walk in the building, the sheriff's there to search you, all that. Everybody's at work. Listen, black man, when you go to court, right? Everybody's at work except you. Am I lying? Not just working together, they're at work. I'm not saying working together. I'm saying when you go to work, everybody's at work, ain't they? Everybody's on the clock. The lawyer's working, doing his job as a lawyer. The prosecutor's working. The state's attorney's working. Everybody's at work. When you go to traffic court, everybody's at work. And you're the work. Criminal court, when I walk in there, everybody in this building is at work except those of us that got a case. We are the work. Black men don't understand that. When you go to prison, you're the work. When you go to jail, you are the work. Everybody else is work. The guards at work. Everybody's at work. You are the work. So in order to keep the work flowing and to keep the system flowing, they're not going to match a real good attorney against a real good prosecutor because they can't put the attorneys out of business. They got to let the attorneys win cases to keep the system flowing. The lawyers, the state's attorney, and the judges, they all golf together. Yes, they all golf. And all the events they go, they all at the events. So that's why you gotta, if you're gonna do crime, save the money, have a good attorney, because he's the one that hang out with the judge. If you got a poor attorney, he not hanging out with the big shots. You might lose. If you got a bullshit attorney, they're going to put him against the top state's attorney, the top prosecutor, and you go into jail. But if you got a big-time attorney, They're not going to put the big time attorney against the big time prosecutor unless they can make some money, like the OJ case. But if it's not the OJ case, the better your attorney is, the worse the prosecutor going to be. Because the big attorney, they all know him. So let me give you an example. I'm sitting right here. I got a big time attorney, right? So I get to court. I'm sitting there. You know, you get to court, you're sitting there, and the secretary is there, and the judge is in the back, right? So other people that got cases, their attorneys come in. So if people ain't got no money, the attorney come in. There's a little gate right there. He'll walk up to the gate. He'll talk to the secretary. She'll walk over to the gate. He'll say, I'm here for John Robinson, blah, blah. And he'll give her the paperwork, and she'll go back to her desk. He do not cross that gate. He stand on this side of the gate. So one day I'm watching all the attorneys, the people don't got much money. The attorneys coming to that gate and saying to the secretary, and then she walking over, right? And they give him the paper. So then my attorney comes. When my attorney comes, he walks through the gate. Listen, when my attorney comes, he walks through the gate and he walks up to the secretary. And he says, blah, 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 to give her the thing. Then he comes, sits next to me. He always shows up right before the judge come out. All the other attorneys there, they wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes. My attorney come, he walk up there, sleeps down, the judge come. He know exactly when the judge is coming out. It's 9 or 10 people in there. She got my paperwork last. The judge comes out. You know the first case he calls? Man. He calls my case first. He calls my case. I told my lawyer wants to continue. My lawyer say, I want to continue. The judge says, let's say it's July the 2nd. You want to continue July 2nd, they got you back in there July 14th. I want to continue. The judge looks at my lawyer and say, it's July the 2nd, right? The judge looks at my attorney and say, I got August 15th open. My lawyer say, I'm gonna be busy August. He said, I got August 29th on myself. He's like, that worked. That's good, Your Honor. And if you be quiet and look at them, you can see, oh, they know each other. Because the first judge I had, the first day my lawyer came to court, he said to me and said, Pharaoh, I don't like this guy. I'm going to ask for a change of venue. When he gets a change of venue, guess who the new judge going to be? One of his friends. Obviously, this judge ain't his friend, and this judge is not going to help him beat the case. So if you pay a good attorney, he knows which judge to get you in front of. He knows which judge is going to let you go and which judge is going to slam or bam your ass. So you get what you pay for. My bail was $250,000. They lowered it to $150,000, and my family bought up $15,000. So he say, so your lawyer gonna want you to pay him every time he see a down payment, and pay him every time he see, and he gonna want you to sign a percentage of your bail when the case is over. So like out of my $15,000, I think he got like 5. And I got like 9. And every time I went to court, I had to have I had to put some money in his hand. He like, I can't just, he ain't coming down there. So when he come down there, he's like, what you got for me, Pharaoh? Yeah, man. So every time they give me more time to come to court, that's why I can get this 500 or 200 or whatever. If I got five, I give him five, 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 five. If I'm a little short, I give him three. Man, I don't got number three. But all he know is cool, because he going to get the money at the end and you showing some respect. You paying him for his time. He got to pay parking. He got to drive. He got a bunch of cases. So he trying to get your case real quick. He going to do a quick 6 cases and he probably going home by 2 o'clock. And so if you don't got no money, then don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Go straight to jail. It's a money game. So if you're going to get out here and you're going to do crimes, you need to stack your money. Because that's how the court, young brothers, that's how the court system go. The court system go like this. You out here doing crimes. They arrest you. You go in front of the judge. The judge asks for, give you some money you got to pay for bail. You let the judge know you ain't got the bail money. The judge going to be like this. So let me get this straight. You in my city committing crimes and you ain't got no money for us? Because the way the judge check to see if you know the game is the judge going to say, this is when you first catch your case. Anybody catch a case will tell you. They're going to call you up there from the back. You still in jail a lot of times. This is before they set bail. And the judge going to say, who's your attorney? And if you don't tell the judge you got no attorney, when you tell the judge I don't have an attorney, the judge don't hear I don't have no attorney. The judge hear I ain't got no money. So now the judge look at you, so let me get this straight. You want to be in our city doing crimes and you ain't got no tax, we can't tax you none? So if I go up there and I say, my attorney is George Pappas, the judge is like, oh, George, cool. That means, oh, you're going to pay taxes. See? This is the game, young brother. I'm telling you the game. You got to show them you paying somebody that's entangled in that system. So when you got a real good attorney, you say, oh, my attorney is George Pappas. They're like, oh, okay, George getting paid? Cool. Pharaoh know how to play the game. All right. Bell set at this. But you go in there in front of them and you out there making money and shit, and you go in there and talking about, I don't got no money. The judge looking at you like this. Okay, so you out here selling stuff and doing stuff in my city, and you ain't got no money for us? Oh, you think we playing with you? Oh, you get ready to go and work for us in the prison system then. We got to get some money. You going to pay. You might as well pay now because, and so they looking at you like you don't know how the monopoly board works. That's how they looking at you. But when you say, oh, I got an attorney, and they say, what's his name? My attorney is Richard Willis, and they know Richard, they're like, cool. Rich making some money, cool. All right, put this prosecutor on there so the prosecutor can make some money. So the judge going to make some money, your attorney going to make some money, the prosecutor going to make some money, all of the guards and stuff going to make some money because they make money by coming to work. Somebody got to pay them. The lights got to stay on in the courthouse. It's a business. So they looking at you like, okay, Pharaoh, you selling all this shit on our streets, but you cool because you got some bread for us. I'm like, I got some bread for y'all. I saved y'all some bread. They're like, cool. You're probably going to go home. Smart guy. That's how the gang go. So if you're in the streets, you better have some money. Because if you ain't got no money, you going to jail. And the only way you ain't going to jail is you petty ass crimes and they just can't get no money from your bum ass any kind of way. But if you're out here getting money and you can't cut them none, you going bye-bye. Because when you paying your lawyer knows the judge and la 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 la. You know how that might go on the backside. Because the lawyer wants to beat the case. So it's a high possibility that the lawyer grieves the judge's palm because the more cases the lawyer wins, the more people say, yeah, hire Henry, or hire Joe Walsick. Because Joe Walsick, the more cases he beat, the more money Joe make. The more people send customers to Joseph. So the court wants to help Joseph win so he can make money. This is an ecosystem. The courthouse is an ecosystem. They got to make sure the lawyers make money. So if you got to save money for an attorney for a rainy day. You need to, if you're doing illegal, making illegal money, you need to have money put up for your wife, your kids, your attorney, and your bail. Or you ain't no hustler. Sit your goofy ass down. You're not a hustler. I sat in there because they were saying I was selling substances. And they gave me a $250,000 bail, which means I got to pay $25,000. So with a $250,000 bill, I got to put up $25,000. I'm saying I'm not selling substances. I got to beat my case. So I can't tell them I'm not selling substances and come up with $25,000. So if you ain't no gangster like that, you ain't no businessman, you don't know business, don't do no crimes. You got to be smart. So that's why I sat in the county jail for 4 months, because I'm not giving them no $25,000 and tell them I'm not selling substances. I'm going to jail. So another reason I beat the case, because I sat there 1 month. Would you lower his bond? No. I'm back on the deck, playing cards, running low. You know what I'm saying? Back in there with the GDs, the BDs, the Vice Lords, the Blackstones, the Latin Kings. I'm back in there on dummy dumb, doing what I'm doing. Right? Come back the next one. Can I lower my bond? No. I'm back in there. I got it. I got to $25,000. Why would I give them $25,000 and say I'm not selling illegal substances? That's stupid. I go to 3rd month. Can I get a lower bail? No. Back to jail. That's why I was in there 4 months. After 4 months, I went to court. What y'all think happened? They looking at me saying, he ain't got it. So if I don't got to $25,000, that's creating doubt. He might not be no big dealer. He don't got the money. All right, 150,000, 15,000, bet. 15,000. Young brothers, listen to me. I'm trying to say I'm not a dealer. They give me a 15,000, I walk. Anything over 10,000, they call the IRS. Anything over $9,999, they call the IRS. So if I give them 15,000, they're gonna call the IRS. Can I give them $15,000 cash and say I'm not a hustler? No, I'm going to prison. So I had my father bring $5,000 cashier check. I had my wife bring a $5,000 cashier check, and I had my sister bring a $5,000 cashier's check. So there was no $10,000 or $15,000 payment. There was $5,000 payment, and I walked home. I walked out after 4 months. and left all them potato chips and all that stuff under my, let the brothers, man, y'all go get all that stuff because I had bags and bags of food because I was a baller. So I had plenty of commissary. So I let the Finball go get everything. Y'all, boy, they was happy as hell. I let dude who run the deck say, man, go get all that stuff distributed to the guys. Because I used to feed the guys chips and shit. I used to buy more than what I need and give it to the guys, right? And that's how I walked out of there. So now that's on my books. So when I beat my case, then that money you get back. That money sit there till you beat your case. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, they want the whole 150,000. The 15,000 is just to hold for the 150,000. You mess up, you got to pay the whole 150,000. If they let you out and you mess up, now you're gonna need 150,000. And then when I got out of jail, they gave me the check. I took the check. I took a picture of the check. I went and started my record label. And I used the check as the money. I used the 5. I took the pictures. I kept the pictures of the 3 money orders. And I used the 3 $5,000 checks for the IRS to show that's why I got my money to start the record label. Because you can't just go start a record label because they're like, well, where you get the money from? Well, the money, I got it from my sister, my mama. I got it from my sister, my mama, and my wife. And that's the money I started my record label. My record label is all legal money. Here's the checks. If not, you're going to jail for tax evasion. Now it's past the statute of limitations, so I'm going to tell you all that in the book. And that's how I started my record label. With them $3,000, $5,000 checks. My point to young brothers is crime costs money. Find you a job and do something else because you're going to end up working. You're either going to work for the state or the government for free, or you're going to stay out of trouble and work for yourself. But you're going to work. You're going to be on the chain gang or something. But either way it goes, you're going to be at work. And if you're doing crimes, you're going to be a slave. You're going to work for nothing. You ain't going to get a penny. So crime don't pay. And they're going to give you a lot of time. Pooh Shiesty is going bye-bye unless some kind of magical way somebody's palms get greased. And if he can't grease the right palms, he going bye-bye. For a long time. Because he did all that stuff on an ankle monitor. And they're going to be like, oh, you think we playing with you? He embarrassed the court system. He's in a lot of trouble. Not just him, all them dudes with him. And if they're not a big enough target where he can turn them in, he going bye-bye. Somebody got to go to prison. And they want him. And he going to get sued by Gucci Mane. He going to get sued for a lot of money. He going to get sued. He going to get sued by the rec. He going to get sued by the music studio. They're going to sue him. Pooh Shiesty going to get sued for lots of money. He might get a $2 million lawsuit for going in them people's business, place of business, doing that shit. Then he got lawsuits from all the people that he held in there He got a lot of problems. I don't know what he was thinking. And the fact that one of them's an off-duty officer, he going bye-bye. Gucci Man ain't got to testify on him. He did that stuff to an off-duty officer. And he did that to a place of business. He went into a place of business. He went into a place of business and did crime. Then he had somebody block the door. That's kidnapping. Big 30, they say he blocked the door. Kidnapping. He got a snitch or he going bye-bye. He got a snitch. That man put himself in a position where somebody got a snitch. Somebody got a snitch. You know what I'm saying? Or they all, or definitely Pooh Shiesty, he going bye-bye forever. He going forever. Texas, young brothers, listen to me. If you go to jail and you make a bond or something and get out of the justice system and you go and embarrass them, they're going to fry you. If you disgrace the justice system like Pooh Shiesty did and get out of there and go do that while on an ankle monitor, they're going to fry you. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You've disgraced the justice system. And in Dave's mind, they looking at you like you think we playing with you. That's how they looking at dude. If one cannot prove the source of the money is from a legitimate source, paying a high bail will go against your possibility of being innocent. 100 billion%, and it's tax evasion. The IRS coming. If I come up with $15,000 with no job, the IRS, I got a Fed case. Now I got a Fed case. Yeah, now I got a Fed case. If I gave them people $15,000 to get out, they're gonna take the money and put another case on me. I was in there with a Mexican, like a Mexican cartel dude, and his wife bought $20,000. And they arrested her and took the $20,000 and put a case on her and put a case on him. They put another case on him. Because he had her come down there with $20,000 damn dollars. And he arrested for selling illegal substances. They put a case on her right there. Go through the airport and have $20,000, $30,000 on you and not no real proof for that money. I bet you some agents gonna come get you. Some agents gonna come get you. They're gonna cuff you. They're gonna confiscate the money. They're gonna take you somewhere to talk to you. They might let you out to fight the case, but you ain't getting that money back until you can go to the court and prove where you got that money from. That's why you never travel with cash like that. You always have it at a bank and go get it when you get to where you're going. You don't. And if you want a certain amount of money from the bank, they're going to give you a date to come get it. They're not giving you that money. They're going to give you a date to go get it, and they're going to send that information of that withdrawal to the IRS. They're going to notify the IRS that Pharaoh came and tried to take out $50,000. They're going to tell me to fill out something, and they're going to tell me the date when I can come get the money. And if that shit ain't legit, when I walk in there to get that money that day, I'm going in handcuffs. Facts. That's why you got to go legit. young black men, go legit. If you want to be a rapper, you got to be a legitimate rapper. You got to go legitimate. If you're going to get on stage with a whole bunch of chains and shit on, make sure that you could prove whoever bought that shit got it through legal means. You cannot just be out here with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry on your neck and no proof of purchase and no proof of income. That's a fact. Now, they might not bother you, but they can if they want to. There's a lot of dudes out here ain't arrested, but they can be. For sure. Because you can't just buy that shit. And then, let's say I got on $200,000 worth of jewelry. Or let's say I got on $60,000 worth of jewelry. And the feds come to me and say, and do the jury, bring somebody to appraise the jury and say the jury worth this. And then they want to know, where'd you get this from? And you tell them the jewelry store you got it from. If they go to that jewelry store and there's no proof of sales, or that jewelry store sold you that, but only wrote down you only spent $7, but took 20 from you and shit, they gonna end up like Johnny Dang. You see they went in Johnny Dang shit and closed it? Because Johnny Dang was selling all them fake diamonds, but that ain't the only reason they grabbing Johnny Dang. Johnny Dang ain't been reporting how much he been selling it for this price, but only telling the IRS this much. And he been selling them man-made diamonds that tell you they real diamonds. He going to prison unless he snitch. Unless he snitch on a bunch of big ballers that be coming in there and help build a case on them, Johnny Dang is going bang, bang, bang. And if Johnny Dang ain't no U.S. citizen originally, he going to a U.S. prison. And when his time up, he going on a plane. He gonna be deported. They're gonna revoke his citizenship. He better hope he born here, or everybody gonna be like, instead of Johnny Dang, everybody gonna be saying, "Dang Johnny." Everybody gonna be saying, "Dang Johnny," because this dumbass selling fake stones, talking about they real diamonds and they wasn't. So that means you overcharged. Everybody finna sue him, man. I wish I had some shit from him. You could come up. If he took $20,000 from me for $8,000 worth of diamonds, I could still sue him for about 100 racks. Dumb as hell. So that's what's going on with that. Gucci Man, he not snitching because that was a legal business. That's not snitching. That's not snitching. He can only be snitching on street shit, and that wasn't no street stuff. That was legal business, and you came in there doing street stuff. He don't owe Pooh Shiesty nothing. So people say, well, Gucci Man, you ask me to say, is Gucci Man making the diss record? Is that snitching or is that gangster? That's super gangster. Super gangster. What did Gucci Man do? Gucci Man put you in a situation where now he could legally right? File his insurance for his jury, because you can't just go take his jury when his jury is insured. He cannot keep that in the streets. If he buys legal jury and insures it, if I buy legal jury and I insure it, and you come rob me for the jury, I got to report it. If I don't report it, and I go get some more jury made somewhere, put it on like that's fraud. I can get in trouble. Once I get my jury insured and you rob me from my jury, I have to report it because it's insured. So Pooh Shiesty put Gucci Man in a situation where he robbed him for insured jury that was done in a place of business. So Pooh Shiesty put Gucci in a bad situation by meeting him at a place of business and doing some street stuff, and the business is not Gucci's business. So all that got to be reported. It's not like you robbed Gucci at Gucci's studio. You robbed Gucci at somebody else's studio and took insured jury. And you did all this at a place of business with an off-duty police officer there and other employees. Gucci has to report that. He has to answer reports on that. There's no thing where the police come to him, he can say he don't know and all that. Not in nobody else's place of business that's going to tell everything that happened. The off-duty police officer got to make a report. So when people say Gucci breaking the street code, that wasn't the streets. Street codes don't apply to that. If I'm a street dude and I go in a recording studio, you come in there, that's not going to be under no street rules, man. I recorded it, let's say CRC. Anybody in Chicago knows CRC downtown? Tell me that a Pooh Shiesty and them came in CRC and did that. Where they record commercials and all the biggest artists in the world record. You telling me that could be dealt with as some street stuff? No, that's not going to be, that's not street, fool. You went in a recording studio. That's not like you went in somebody's little street studio at their house or some shit like that, bro. You went in a place of business where them people call people to come and open the studio. Street rules don't apply there. You did not rob a street dude. You robbed the CEO of a record label that runs a business. And you took jury that was insured, that was a business, bought under a business. That's not even really his jury. That's property of the business. The business paid for the jury. And he's got to file insurance on that. What do you mean don't snitch? You went and you did crimes in the system. That was not a street crime. Pooh Shiesty was doing street crimes, but he did crimes in lawful businesses. The street codes do not apply in a professional studio. The street codes don't apply in there in that place. Bro, if I got an off-duty police officer with me, you do something, there ain't no street codes, bro. This is a police officer. What do you mean street codes? Pooh Shiesty and them went and did something that ain't got nothing to do with the streets. So you're going to go do all this in a recording studio and say you can't make a recording about it. Hold on. So Pooh Shiesty can go do illegal stuff at a recording studio. And you telling me Gucci Man can't make a recording about his dumbass doing something in a professional recording studio. And you're trying to say that's snitching because a fool went and did something in a business with an off-duty police officer at somebody else's business and took jury that's filed for legal jury that was bought through legal means. That's not street. Dude went and did some street stuff at a business. That the street rules don't apply. So anybody talking about Gucci didn't keep it street, it wasn't never street. How you gonna keep something street? That's not street. When I worked in the studio, I had rappers come, I'm the only one got a weapon. They cannot have weapons in there. I got a weapon for all of our safety. You cannot bring a weapon into these people's recording studio, bro. This is professional. We work right here. R. Kelly work right there. Common might be in here. This is DMX might. This is business, bro. It's not no street shit. That's not no street stuff. You robbed me in front of civilians, and you talking about I can't say nothing, and you did it in front of civilians, and all the civilians know you did it. And you talk about keep it a secret, something that you did in public, like a dumbass. And Gucci's a businessman and realized he could rap about it and probably make what? A couple million? How much money he gonna make off that song? He finna get paid off that song. Gucci smart as hell. He went and rapped about it and made some money. He rapped about it, made some money, and he gonna sue you. And you still sign his label. Your views going up, your song making more money. Gucci getting rich as hell, and your dumb ass going to prison. Your daddy might go to prison, and everybody gonna go to prison unless they snitch on you. And the only way anybody could get out of trouble is to snitch on Pooh Shiesty. And that's how smart his ass is. Dumb as hell. The Gucci man ain't breaking no codes. No code broke. You robbed a business. Street codes do not apply. Street codes don't apply. Any street dude want to have this discussion, first, make sure you have your high school diploma. I'm going to want to see your high school diploma. Listen, any street dude that want to debate this with me or want to go make a live against what I'm saying, show your diploma. We also want to hear your criminal record to see if you're a two-bit jailbird. Because if you're a stupid-ass jailbird, why would anybody listen to you when you could never stay out of jail and prison? Who gonna listen to you? That's to the jailbirds that's trying to teach young black people something, and you couldn't even stay your goofy ass out of jail or prison. Not only is you a jailbird, you're broke because only broke jailbirds go to jail. If you had money, you would have beat your case. So I don't want no stupid dude talk about no street shit, because most of the dudes talk about street shit is dumb as hell. They dumb. Don't listen to street dudes. Street dudes is dumbasses. They are. They stupid. They'll say anything in street. It's a code to everything. And street dudes is always pushing codes they don't even uphold. The average dude that's gonna stand up for Shiesty, you couldn't trust him. If you think Shiesty, if you think that Gucci Man broke street code, we can't even trust you. You can't trust nobody that say Gucci broke the street code. Because anybody that say Gucci broke the street codes is probably a scumbag themselves. Facts. Why would you listen to a scumbag? Most of the people that's trying to stand up for Pooh Shiesty are scumbags or wannabe scumbags. And there's nothing worse than a scumbag than a wannabe scumbag. There's nothing worse than a street scoundrel than a wannabe street scoundrel. There's nothing worse than a low-life gangster than a bootleg wannabe low-life gangster. And 95% of people you see talking gangster is a rat and a snitch and ain't built like that and a cry to their mama when it pop off and can't shoot straight. So young people, do not listen to these people telling you no fake street codes. If they not telling you that Pooh Shiesty is not under the street laws once he went into a legal business, they don't represent real gangsters. Because any real gangster, anybody really know the streets know, once he walked into a legal business, that's not street. Street is streets. Once he walked in and did all that stuff where there was a bunch of civilians and did stuff with civilians present with a businessman and a rapper like Gucci that's a businessman and did this in front of civilians, he put Gucci Man in a situation where Gucci Man got to talk because this is civilian business. And Gucci Man got to say his jury was taken because the jury is insured. There's businesses involved with the jury. Because, okay, and then I'm going to let y'all go. For young brothers watching me, if I got a bunch of jury and I insure it with the jury company, technically, I insure it with an insurance company, right? So I got a bunch of jury. I go get it insured with insurance. Technically, that's the insurance company's jury. If that jury, if he took that jury, he took the insurance company's jury. Like if I go get my car, I got a Bentley and I get it insured from Lords of London. Technically, that's their car if anything happened to it. If you tear that car up, you have tore up the Lords of London's car because they insured a car. They're responsible for the car if anything happened to the car. So if you take that jury and it's insured under the paperwork that he signed, if he don't report it, that's fraud. Gucci Man could go to prison if he don't report that jury, if that jury is insured. It's signed that he's going to tell anything that happens to that jury. And Pooh Shiesty robbed the insurance company and violated the business building that they was in. He violated the studio. Duh.
That's not street. That's a studio. The streets is outside, in the streets. There's no streets in the studio. There's no streets in the job. There's no streets in other people's businesses. Once you're in a business, it's business. Street code don't hold up in a school, in a library, in any city building, in any state building, in any business. There's no street code in no business. That's why street code is not called business code. That man went in a business and did some stupid shit. He gets no street code. And I represent the street. I'll tell it to his face. Bro, Pooh Shiesty, you don't represent street code. You represent stupid niggas in the street. That's what he represents. Pooh Shiesty represents, and his daddy, they represent idiots. That's what all they represent. They don't represent no streets because everybody in the street ain't stupid. Because I know street dudes would have never did that. Oh my soul. Don't try to put that on the streets. Because I know a lot of street dudes that once you would have been talking about going in that studio doing some street stuff, they would have been like, is you crazy? Bro, that's 15 to 20. Boy, that's 20 to 25. Because a lot of street dudes know exactly how much time comes with each crime. Facts. Real street dudes can tell you the charges you get. Facts. There was not no real street dudes there. Because they would have said, bro, if we go up in here, this could be 20 to 25. Go to county jail. There's dudes from prison, and every crime, they're like, oh, Pharaoh, that's 5 to 7. I was amazed. Real criminals can tell you every bit of time you get for every violation. I don't know because I ain't been in and out of prison. But dudes that really been in and out of prison a lot, they can tell you exactly how much time you get for doing them crimes in that studio. That's a fact. That is not going to be sanctioned as no street shit. I know real, not no real street nigga. I'm just as street as anybody else. And on my watch, that wasn't no street shit. That was some stupid shit. That wasn't no street shit. Run up in no goddamn studio with no goddamn undercover police officer and all that. Bro, you see these civilians in here? Bro, it's not street once you go in here with the civilians. What? That's private property. Street rules is called street rules, not private property rules. And so if you're going to go and you're going to do all this stuff to Gucci in front of citizens at a business, then he can go rap about it. You didn't keep it street. So what do you mean keep it street? It was never street. What do you mean keep it street? When was it street? Hey, Gucci need to keep it street. When is running in a studio with off-duty officers and shit street? When is leaving with a monitor on where your dumb ass supposed to be in the house and bringing a bunch of stupid shorties with you to do some crime? When is that street? No, Pooh Shiesty violated the streets, violated people's children, took young dudes that didn't have no sense on what they was doing and got them caught up in the case. He bogus, especially taking them young babies with him. He foul. Tell him to his face, he ain't built like that. Pooh Shiesty ain't none of that. Pooh Shiesty's a dumbass. Bruh, in the streets, that's a violation. You took them shorties out there and did that. ruined their life. Some damn shorties that went and took the pictures with stolen watches on. How you a gangster? And you went and took some babies, these babies. These babies went and showed the watches. You don't get no gangster point for taking green people on dummy missions. That ain't gangster, bro. You took some babies. Them babies went and took pictures with the watches on. Come on, man. Why you take Shorty them on that? They not ready for that. They was. Come on, man. Come on, man. Why you take? I feel sorry for them little boys. Them little boys, man. Them little boys gonna grow up. They ain't gonna like it. They not gonna like him. When them little boys grow up and realize that Pooh Shiesty took them on a dummy mission when they was too little, they ain't gonna like dude. And I'm in Chicago, and then you'll get violated. Let me tell you something. If you was a vice lord or a GD or something like that, and you took little folks in them out there like that, he would catch a violation. I'm going to keep it real. The OGs would come and be like, on vice lord or on BD or whatever gang. I ain't pushing no gang. I'm just telling you what would happen. And they find out that you took some babies out there like that, he would get violated. I know some dudes that if them shorties is they little brothers or little nephew, they at you. They run up on you. Hey, you Pooh Shiesty? You the one took my cousin little Daryl on that dummy mission like that and messed his life up. Now his mama crying. Why you take little Daryl? That's what they gonna ask, man. Listen, I'll really be outside. They gonna want to know why you take them. Bro, you was a whole grown-ass man. This is how the streets be going. You was a whole grown-ass man. Why you didn't do that shit by yourself? Why you take them babies with you? Since you all that, I listen to your rap. You all super, all that. Why you take them babies with you? Why you take them babies with you? Why you take my little cousin Daryl on that? I know people to get at him for that. I swear to God. I know people, if they was related to them little boys that took the picture of what, Pooh Shiesty would be in trouble. They'll look at him like a predator. Everybody be like, you horrible for the community. You sit up here misleading the youth and shit. Try to get some brownie points for that. And your old ass daddy sat there with them babies there too, and he older than you. So his daddy bogus too. Man, you's a super grown ass man. You didn't tell your son, ask him why these little kids with y'all? On my soul. I would never be scared of no damn Pooh Shiesty. I knocked the poo off his shiesty. He ain't built like that. He definitely not built like that. He a goofy. You can't win no wars if you're not smart. Pooh Shiesty's an idiot. Facts. And Gucci Man is a gangster and kept it gangster. He that record, yeah, that was smart. Go get paid off this nigga. He breaking the rules anyway. I don't want to hear nothing about no street codes. Pooh Shiesty done broke all the street codes. There ain't no street codes. Bro, you can't run into no businesses and have street codes. You can't run in no Target or no Walmart and do no crimes and start talking about street code. Street codes is street codes. Robbing an illegal gambling house or illegal house where they selling substances, that's the streets. There's no street codes in businesses. And once you go into business and break the law, there's no street code. You don't get no street code. You can't do no non-street shit and get no goddamn street code. All you young dudes misleading the black community, telling them street code, don't snitch, street code, don't snitch. Misleading our youth. So now your little son go to school and they beat him up and he don't tell the teacher, he don't tell his mom and nobody because y'all telling the babies don't tell. So now you can violate the babies, how the baby's scared to tell, making the babies think everything is street code. I'm heated over this shit. Making our sons think everything is street code. So now some grown-ass dudes can go and take little girls and do stuff to them, and then nobody tell. And y'all can violate minors and all type of shit, because that's what they doing. They violate minors, they doing all type of stuff, and they saying don't tell because it's street code. So now people is getting abused and nobody to stand up for them because they lying telling you that these type of atrocities is under street code. A bunch of dumbasses. Pooh Shiesty left home and went and did all that stuff with an ankle monitor on. Now look at me. Can he tell me anything about any kind of code with his dumb ass? I'm going to listen to him about codes, street codes, or his daddy. Pooh Shiesty and his daddy can't tell me nothing about no codes because their daddy broke a family code. Went with his son on a dummy mission. So what can his daddy tell me about some codes when he couldn't even look out for his own goddamn son? Huh? So Daddy Shiesty can tell me about street codes as dumb as his ass is? Listen, young people, don't listen to no dumb niggas tell you nothing about no codes. Jailbirds in the black community is uneducated and dumb. And you don't let the most uneducated, dumbest people in the community make no codes. They are not intelligent enough to make no codes. Period. Y'all stop listening to these criminals and these dummies make up codes. They don't got sanctioned. I'm speaking for the OGs. They are not sanctioned by OGs. The street code that they made up, we do not sanction it. It's not officially sanctioned. Says who? Says Big Pharaoh. The street code that these people is making up is not sanctioned by real OGs in the United States of America. Chop this part up and put it on TikTok. What I just said, put it all over TikTok. That the street code that they are pushing to our youth, us OGs, we do not sanction it. It is not sanctioned by the streets. That's not sanctioned. We don't sanction it. That's not sanctioned. That's not sanctioned by no leaders of no gangs. That's not sanctioned. That's an unsanctioned code. I speak for all the brothers that's in prison. They're trying to keep their children out of prison because if ain't nobody in prison want their daughter, their son, their nephew, or their grandchildren going to no damn prison, living by no damn codes, no damn street codes. We want our children to get education, jobs, and make some out themselves. The word street and code do not go together. The streets have no codes. There's no code on the street. The street is full of snakes and liars. And Troy Ave already told you. The streets is a myth.